It's right there.
Eva. Yes, now we're live now. Council members, good evening, Paterson. On behalf of the Paterson Municipal Council, we welcome you to our regular meeting of May 16 at 7 p.m. The meeting is now called to order. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes, Mr. President. Good evening, everyone. Roll call for Municipal Council regular meeting of Tuesday, May 16, 2024 at 7 p.m. Councilman Abdelaziz. Councilwoman Cotton.
Council, we welcome
Here.
you to our regular.
Councilwoman Davila.
Present.
Councilman Jackson. Councilman Kalik.
Present.
Councilwoman Mims.
I am here and ready to serve.
Thank you. Councilman Udin. Councilman Velez.
It feels good. My vote is yes. Yes.
Mr. President.
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Mr. President, this evening's prayer is being rendered by Deacon Ernest Mack of Agape Center Word. He's not here? But how can you? And Councilman Jackson is not here to do the flag salute either.
Madam Clerk,
I could
so-
volunteer.
I would recommend Councilwoman Mims
Sure.
to do the prayer and the flag salute. It could be Councilwoman Davila.
Yes. Will this reach? Thank you. Let us pray. God our Father, we thank you because this is a day that you have made, and so we rejoice and we are glad in it. From the rising of the sun to the going down of the same, your name is worthy to be praised. God, we thank you for this great city of righteousness, the city of Paterson. We thank you that you will continue to move and grow and progress us in the places and the things that you would like us to do so that we can move to the place called better. We want to pray on tonight for our residents, for our mayor, for this council, for the administration, and for everyone, all the employees. God, we're grateful even after the election is over and the dust settles, we are grateful that we can get back to business. So God, anoint us afresh. Blow a wind of your glory on this council. Blow a wind of your glory on this meeting. Blow a wind of your glory in this city. God, we need a change. We need a swift move, and we need things to be in the places and alignment in which you have created it to be. We pray for healing for those that are sick. We pray for comfort for those that are grieving. We pray for strength for those that are weak. We pray for joy for those that need it, and we pray for laughter for those that are in sorrow. And God, we thank you for this meeting on tonight because we know that there will be order. We know that it will be blessed, and we know that we will get out of here early. In Jesus' name, amen.
Councilman Jackson is here.
So the flag salute by Councilman Jackson, who is, yeah.
Allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Council President.
Now, let's do a moment of silence for our troop and for those that lost a loved one in our country and in our community. You may be seated. Council members, we have a total of 37 items. Let's get into business.
Statement.
Statement of compliance.
Statement of
Council.
compliance.
Yes, statement of compliance, Madam Clerk, yes.
Statement of compliance with the Open Public Meetings Law for 2023-2024. Today's meeting date is May 16, 2024. The time is now 7:12 p.m. Adequate notice of this meeting was compiled and disseminated in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Law in the following manner. 1. The annual notice of regular meetings and workshop sessions of the Municipal Council was compiled for the year 2023-2024 on or about July 1, 2023. 2, a schedule of the regular meetings and workshop sessions of the Municipal Council for the year 2023-2024 was duly transmitted on or about July 1, 2023, to the North Jersey Herald News, the Record, the Arabic Voice, the Italian Voice, the Passaic County Pulse, Dominicana News, La Quisqueya Internacional, El Especial, the Paterson Press, the City Post News, Tap into Paterson, the weekly Bangla Patrika, in addition to any other publication duly requesting such notices. 3, the schedule of the regular meetings and workshop sessions of the Municipal Council for the year 2023-2024 was prominently posted in the lobby of City Hall, first floor, in the place reserved for the announcements of this type. 4, the schedule of the regular meetings and workshop sessions of the Municipal Council for the year 2023-2024 was duly filed with the municipal clerk. And 5, a copy of the schedule of regular meetings of the Municipal Council was mailed to any person who requested and paid the fee authorized by the Open Public Records Act.
Thank you, Madam Clerk.
Mr. President, may I just read this notice?
Yes.
For relocation? So please be advised that due to a structural emergency in the City Council chambers at 155 Market Street, 3rd floor, Paterson, New Jersey, the venue for the Municipal Council regular meetings of Thursday, May 16, 2024 at 7 p.m. has been relocated to the Cablevision Studio, 77 Ellison Street, Paterson, New Jersey. This was done on May 9th, 2024, and it was published in the Herald and Record newspaper.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Let's do payment of bill. Councilwoman Davila.
Thank you very much, Council President. Once again, as I shared, I want to congratulate everyone who won their reelection of the ward races. Council President, and to all my colleagues, if you see, we have a $35,161,338.65 bills list, of which please be mindful that this is also last week's bills list when we didn't have a meeting, and that bills list was $28,647,487.12. If you look, the general government, that's for health insurance, that's $5,110,600.90. There also was a $15,664,751.94 for county taxes. In addition, there also was a payment to the Board of Education for $6,097,364.17. Totaling, and again, as I said, it was a payroll week, $5,138,117.54, making it a total combined of $35,161,338.65. My motion is for payment of bills.
Second.
It was moved by Councilwoman Davila, second by Councilman Velez. Roll call, Madam Clerk, on payment of bill.
Yes, Mr. President, roll call for the approval of payment of bills in the amount of $35,161,338.65. Councilwoman Cotton.
Council, I'm sorry, Madam Clerk. Let me pass for a minute.
Councilwoman Davila.
Yes.
Councilman Jackson.
We have our CFO, go to the beer.
Council President, before I
Councilman
go,
Jackson.
there's an item here for a Bunker Hill voucher for $19,000 without any details. Is there any specifications of what that payment is for, Madam BA?
Our CFO is.
Yeah. I don't have any specifics, Council President. I don't know if our CFO has any.
I don't have any specifics. I would have to look it up for you, Councilman.
My vote is no, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Councilman Jackson. Councilman Kalik.
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. Councilwoman Mims.
Our employees deserve to get paid. Services that are rendered need to be paid. This is what this is for. My vote is yes.
Thank you. Councilman Velez.
I apologize, we had two bills in one. It's because we had no quorum in the past, but we moving forward the payment of bills as we speak, so my vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilman Velez. Councilwoman Cotton.
Yes.
Thank you, Councilwoman Cotton. Mr. President.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The downtown, Bunker Hill Improvement District,
Yeah.
they've been very responsible when it comes to their budget. I'm very sure that we're going to have that information
Yeah.
moving forward today. And please share that information with the rest of the council. And also, there's payment of bill that we have included salary there, and our employee deserve to get paid. With that being said, my vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. President. The votes are 6 yeses, 1 no, and 2 absences. Payment of bills in the amount of $35,161,338.65 is hereby adopted.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Madam Clerk, we have the consent agenda, which is item 5 through 19.
Okay. All right. All matters listed under the consent agenda are considered to be routine by the council and will be enacted by one motion. The items listed under the consent agenda are numbers 5 through 19. Any item may be removed from the consent agenda by the request of any council member, and if so removed, will be treated as a separate
So
matter.
moved.
So move.
Moved by
Second.
Councilwoman Davila, second by Councilman Velez and Councilwoman Mims. Roll call, Madam Clerk, on the consent agenda.
Roll call on the consent agenda. Councilwoman Cotton
Yes.
is yes. Councilwoman Davila?
Yes.
Councilman Jackson?
Yes.
Councilman Kalik?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mims?
Yes.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Yes,
Councilman Velez?
yes.
Mr. President.
My vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. President. The votes are 7 yeses, 2 absences. The consent agenda for items 5 through 19 is hereby adopted.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Out of the consent agenda, let's do item number 20.
Number 20.
Yes.
Item number 20 is a resolution authorizing the second and final renewal contract with Professional Account Management LLC for the private collection of municipal court debt for the City of Paterson, RFP number 2020-24.
So moved.
It's an administration resolution, 24:304.
So move.
Moved by Councilman Velez, second by Councilwoman Davila. Roll call, Madam Clerk, on item number 20.
Roll call on item number 20 for approval. Councilwoman Cotton,
Yes.
Councilwoman Davila,
Yes.
Councilman Jackson,
Yes.
Councilman Kalik,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mims,
Yes.
Councilman Velez.
To be when we come back to renew this, we want to know how much revenue we have brought up with this collection company to see how effective have been in this contract that it has. So my vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilman Velez. Mr. President.
My vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. President. The votes are 7 yeses, 2 absences. Item number 20 is hereby adopted.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item number 21.
Item number 21 is resolution authorizing change order number 1 for the Clinton Street Park Project Phase 2, bid number 23.13
So moved.
for the City of Paterson. It's an administration resolution 24:305.
Second.
Moved by Councilwoman Mims and second by Councilman Velez. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Discussion.
Discussion, Councilman Jackson.
Can we get an outline on what the change order is?
We have the Director of Public Work here.
No, we got.
And Madam Biels as well,
Yeah,
so
Madam BA, yeah.
let's start with Madam BA. Madam BA.
Thank you, Council President. So if you look at the resolution, the third whereas really talks about the changes to this. The tables, the initial tables that were outlined in the bid specs did not include the concrete pads to really have adjoining seats to the tables. So we agreed that this would be something that's not something that we want to chain tables or chairs to tables to make sure that they stay in the location. It should have been more specific in the bid specs, but it is something that is allowable through purchasing law, has been reviewed by the purchasing agent, and we are able to move forward with this, and it is funded through the same source of funds, which is the American Rescue Plan dollars.
So, okay. So, if I'm hearing you correct, Madam BA, this $500,000 change order, $471,000 change order is for,
No, Council President, yeah. If
Council
I-
members.
If I could just point you to the third whereas, it's a $23,000 change order.
23,000, okay.
Yeah.
I apologize. So, I see, original contract. So this is for new concrete pads?
It's to upgrade the seating that the original specs included, seating that was not connected to the tables. So this would be something that would allow for the concrete pads and the seating for the tables in the park.
So this is not for new tables, this is for the concrete pads to house the tables?
Correct. To secure the seating to the pads,
Very good.
yeah.
Thank you.
Council President. Council President, may I?
Just a minute, council members. Councilman Velez?
Thank you, Council President. Madam BA, so, in other words, the same situation happened at the Lou Costello Park, that the chair was not attached to the table, and we are losing it. So we want to prevent that in this park, correct? So is there any time we could revisit the Lou Costello Park and try to see, because they already stole like 3 chairs of it, and I know it was tied only with a metal ring, a metal thing that they have there, but now they cut the wire and they took the chairs. So I know residents in that area, the 5 district, the new district that I have, was requesting for sitting because they got the table. But now, because the table was not attached to the chairs, we lost about 3 of them out of our 5 that we had in each one. So to look into if we could go revisit that to see if we could modify that to the same that we have in that Clinton Park. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Councilman Jackson and Councilman Velez. If there's no more question, roll call on item 21.
Roll call on item number 21 for approval. Councilwoman Cotton.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. This is for Jeanette Thompson Park to upgrade it to make, I know what happens sometimes, when things are not secure, it gets missing. And so with that being said, this is for you, Jeanette Thompson. My vote is yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Councilwoman Cotton. Councilwoman Davila.
Not only is this for Jeanette Thompson, this is for the first ward. My vote is yes.
Thank you. Councilman Jackson.
Yes.
Councilman Kalik.
Yes.
Councilwoman Mims.
So let me just say, when it came to this park, I always have to give credit to Ms. Thompson, Mama Bug, and their team that was tirelessly working, advocating, pushing, and then I reached out to the mayor and Madam BA for Clinton Street Park to make sure that we could get the upgrades that were so desperately needed. When change orders come through, it's exciting because it tells you that work is being done. So I'm excited for this item. Madam Clerk, my vote is yes.
Thank you, Dr. Mims. Councilman Velez.
So in the past 8 years, I've been a DPW committee chair, and I'm happy that every item that comes to DPW and also to finance that to improve our parks, no matter if a councilman is not in the committee, I take serious their request. So the residents of that area is going to be proud to see that park and the scope of work that they put in that is going to be invested the right way. So my vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Councilman Velez. Mr. President,
I'm looking forward to see this parking on Clinton Street Park renovated. And Councilwoman Mims always say, let's give flower to people when they can smell it. So I'm looking forward to see the beautiful renovation and the grand opening. This is going to serve beautiful in this community. My vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
thank you, Mr. President. The votes are 7 yeses, 2 absences. Item number 21 is hereby adopted.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Let's do item 22, Madam Clerk.
Item number 22 is a resolution designating Main Street from Market Street to Broadway to also be known as Veterans Way. It's sponsored by Councilwoman Dr. Lilisa Mims, co-sponsored by the remaining council members. It's a City Council Resolution 24:306.
So moved.
It was moved by Councilwoman Mims, second by Councilman Velez.
Discussion.
Discussion, Councilwoman Davila.
By any means am I against this item. I'm in full support. The only thing is, I do not have the paperwork. It did not reach us on time through legal. We do not have it. So at this time, I can't vote on something that I do not have in front of me. The document did not go through the legal department to the clerk, so although it made the item, you know, I really would like for us, this is something that I want to come back. I'm in full support. Families are veteran. My stepdad is 93 years old, you know, Korean veteran, so I'm in full support. But I would like to see, I cannot vote on something that I do not have in front of me.
Thank you,
Coun-
Councilwoman.
Councilwoman Mims.
Council President, so this item was sent over a month ago to the legal department, to the clerk, and to the street naming committee on a memorandum and an email form. Unfortunately, tonight, the reso was not approved, but I'll let Corporation Counsel explain. He said we can vote on it to move it forward, and then we'll come back with the paperwork. But it was sent on time, it's just not here. So Corporation Counsel, if Corporation Counsel can explain what can take place tonight.
Sure, Councilwoman Mims. A Corporation Counsel.
Thank you, Council President. Dr. Mims is correct. She did send the request over to the legal department, I believe, on April 30th. We received that request. We did not receive confirmation from the street naming committee chair that it was approved to move forward. I'm receiving indications now that the committee did not meet to approve it. Therefore, consistent with the practice in our code, the law department did not prepare the requisite reso. However, if council today wanted to vote to express its support for such a resolution, we can hereafter prepare a resolution, put it back on the agenda, and then the council can vote to approve the actual resolution.
Council President.
Thank you. And if I may, Councilor, there's been a lot of moving part because of the election of the city council member that have been out for re-election, and I know that there's been things that have been delayed in terms of the committee meeting for the different committee. So I definitely agree that, you know, we should move forward and bring the resolution back, the body of the resolution, but I will allow Councilman Mims and Councilman Velez to make the final comment before we vote.
Okay, so I just want to make sure that, if I'm not confusing here, probably, do we have a Veteran Plaza Way at the Federal Plaza, or that's the Federal Plaza called Federal Plaza? Federal Plaza, it's not Veteran Way? Okay, it's not Veteran Way? Okay, I just want to make sure that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well understood, Councilman.
It's Federal
Coun-
Plaza. Okay. I'm good with it.
Councilwoman Mims.
I don't have
No, I'm
problem.
fine, we're
Okay.
moving forward.
Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Now, this is containing one area. Okay. We don't have,
Council President,
Councilman Mims.
can we, and I know it can be done because we've done it many times, can it be moved to later on the agenda? We'll come back and vote on it because we can prepare it while we're sitting here. We've done it many times for other items.
Sure, no.
We can do that, so we can move it till later on and then we'll vote on it. Can we do that?
Sure.
If Corporation Counsel. No.
Council members,
I'll go to the
let's, Councilman Mims, let's also keep in mind that we're not in City Hall. Unfortunately, we don't have the computer
can move forward,
in front
Council
of us.
President. I'm
It's gonna
fine.
be, if Corporation Council believe that they could go back to City Hall and come back.
No, it's fine, we can move forward. I'm
So
good. I'm good.
I will be okay to wait Otherwise, so let me ask.
Madam Clerk.
Madam Clerk, what's your opinion, if you could do it? The reason why.
No, we're
Go ahead, Madam
going to
Clerk.
take the vote in support of this resolution now, and then we'll bring the document back at a later meeting.
Okay,
We're going to vote.
okay.
Council President, just a quick, please.
Go ahead, go ahead, Corporation Counsel.
To export, right. Oh, you're going to bring it back. So we are taking a vote now in support
Correct.
of the resolution.
Correct.
And when it's brought back, then we'll take another vote on it.
So just a request, on the next workshop, I would like a special meeting, that it will be done at that special meeting.
Not a problem,
Thank
council
you.
members. Not a problem. So, and just to, we all have to be mindful of this kind of situation. We're not at City Hall, so we just try to be in person, having this meeting in person, because we already know what happened with virtual. So we'll move forward with a special meeting to just reaffirm the vote. Roll call, Madam Clerk, on item number 22.
Yes, Mr. President. Roll call on item number 22, which is expressing support to be, for the resolution to be drafted and presented at the next meeting. Councilwoman Cotton.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I'm trying to understand, you're saying that this is just a vote for support or a vote for what?
What did she say? Yes. Vote for support.
Okay. I mean, I'm for Veterans Way. I grew up with a family of veterans. My brothers were veterans, my uncles. My father was in World War II.
Point of order.
Wait a
Council
second.
President.
Okay, point of order, Councilwoman Mims.
So just a request, not to cut Councilwoman Cotton off, if it could be moved to next workshop, and we'll vote on it at the special meeting, that would be much better.
No.
So I'll remove my
Madam-
motion on tonight, and just to request, Council President, that this will be on the workshop as a special meeting item. We'll
All right.
vote on it next Tuesday.
All right, so we will remove item 22 for the workshop.
Council President, let me remove my motion first. Yeah. So she removed her motion, I removed, this is no brainer, at least, but let's remove my motion. We do it formally next workshop in a special meeting.
Okay.
Item 22, council members table and members of the public until the next meeting. Before we continue with the meeting, I have a text, I received a text that the meeting, it's not on TV, it's only on YouTube. So so we're not on TV, we only on YouTube.
Que nos
So
vean por el
to
tubo.
members of the public, so we're not on TV because we have some technical problem. No. Council members, we are on YouTube. That's if we are only on YouTube. We're not on channel 77. So Ryan is working to fix the problem. We'll be back soon on channel 77. For now, we are on YouTube only. Madam Clerk, let's do item 26. Madam Clerk?
Okay, Mr. President. Item? What number?
Item number 26.
Okay.
Why you jump?
Council members?
Item number 26 is a resolution on the Paterson Code, Chapter 129, Bazaars, addressing a license for the Palestinian American Community Center to conduct a festival. It's a finance resolution 24.
So moved. Second.
Councilmember, let's make sure that we wait until Madam Clerk finish reading the item.
Okay,
Into
she
the
finished.
record, please.
Move.
So it was moved by Councilwoman Davila and Councilwoman Mims, and second by Councilmember Les. A roll call, Madam Clerk, on item number 26.
Roll call on item number 26 for approval. Councilwoman Cotton,
Yes.
Councilwoman Davila,
Yes.
Councilman Jackson,
Yes.
Councilman Kalik,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mims,
Yes.
Councilman Velez.
Yes.
Mr. President.
My vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. The votes are 7 yeses, 2 absences. Item number 26 is hereby adopted.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item number 27.
Sure. Item number 27 is a resolution on the Paterson Code, Chapter 129, Bazaars, addressing a license for New Jersey Peruvian, Inc. to conduct a festival. It's a finance resolution 24:311.
So moved.
Second.
It was moved.
Discussion.
It was moved by Councilwoman Davila, second by Councilmember Les. Discussion. Councilwoman Mims.
So I just have a question. I see this item before us, but I know there were two groups that were here in relation to the Peruvian parade. So I'm not sure, did they have a discussion together, or is this just for the one? And then I also would like Corporation Counsel to speak as well, because we got a letter that came from a Esquire or a law office in regards to this parade. So I just want to get an update if it's connected or it's similar, and, I mean, what should we do? Because I'm not sure.
Corporation Counsel.
Yes, thank you, Council President, for the opportunity, and thank you, Dr. Mims, for that inquiry. For the record, this is for a festival. It's not for a parade. Additionally, we did receive some correspondence from a firm regarding the pending dispute between certain parties. A review of this application reveals that the proponents of this application are not a party to that dispute, and the member or the individual who's seeking this particular resolution is not a party to that litigation. And so, given what we've reviewed, including the court's order in that pending dispute and the instant application, we do not believe that there is a basis to not proceed at this time.
Council,
Thank you, Corporation Counsel.
Council President.
Councilwoman Davila.
So if I could just, Councilwoman Mims, this item went through licensing, through the clerk's office. This is for a bazaar, not for the parade. This entity submitted everything, and it went through the finance department. It went through police, fire, DPW. They had their meetings, they have their contracts in place, they've made their payments. And so that's why this application is before us. You asked about the other entity. The other entity did not submit any applications.
Council President. Council President.
Thank you, Council President.
Councilmember Les, before we put this item for a vote.
Yes, Council President, I'm going over, like I always do, with every organization that comes here to do a bazaar. Before I go, I just want to make sure, can somebody explain me why we see on the back of this paper a money order of $100, and we don't see the payment of the police in advance and the payment of everybody in advance? What does this $100 means? Like I always do, I do discoveries, right? So I just want to know why, if everything is paid in advance, I don't see the check. I only see a money order that says $100. Huh? Oh, no, it's okay, I got it. It's the $100, sorry.
Councilmember, just a minute.
Yeah.
Councilmember, let's have the floor. Go ahead, Councilmember.
Correct. So they paying only $100 to conduct a festival?
No, Council.
Just,
I want clarification. I just want to make sure that we don't.
Councilmember Les, you asked the question, so let me.
So in the past, I have seen this type of applications coming in, and I just want to know if the permits, based on the regulation that we have, or fee payments, now they're going to charge $100 for use our streets?
Councilman.
Oh, this is the
Council
dumpster.
President, if I could.
Yeah.
Just a minute. Okay, so Councilwoman Davila.
So I'm going to answer that question, and we have our DPW director here. We have our fire chief. You just voted on an application for the same exact thing, the Palestinian Bazaar license, okay? If you look, that is the permit that you're paying. That's the fee that the city has assessed in terms of the permit for the street closure. It is not different. We don't do different fees for different entities pertaining to a festival. So that's the one thing. If you look at the other application that you just approved, their event is this weekend. Therefore, police is paid, everything is paid. This event will be happening July 28th. So in terms of all of the other things, they've met their approvals through fire. They've met their approvals through the police department. You see the contract here, and DPW. So if there's any questions, maybe you address them to them or to our BA,
yes, Madam
who has
BA.
reviewed, and the licensing department. and our-
Madam BA, just to be in the safe area, not bring grade area, I'm in support of it, but in the past, when we approve a bazaar or festival, the director could testify on this, that he says, I'm not gonna assign a permit into the payment of, for example, keeping the cleanliness, or whoever's gonna clean, or if DPW have a sweeper, if we're gonna use personnel, DPW for the festival, if we're gonna use police, things like that, he will not issue a permit or sign a permit into those fee or pay. And you had testified this before, right? If you don't pay, you don't get a permit. Now, here is the first time that I see a money order for $100 that is only for the permit of closing the blocks. What about DPW work cleaning it after the event? Who's going to cover that?
So there's a question for the Director of Public Work. We have the Director of Public Work here. Council members, so straight the question direct to each director, since they're here. That way he could answer us. Director?
Both those festivals have been paid. I don't know why it's not attached there, but they both been paid. I don't know, I can't talk for the other departments, but DPW's part of it is paid.
So, Council President, so they all pay, because I didn't saw it here, so
Yes,
that's,
yes.
so Madam BA, this festival falls into any festival, let's go any festival. Any festival falls into the MOU of the 60 and 40% that we approved before?
Yes.
Okay.
So and Council President, if I can,
Madam BA?
if we can detail the specifics, the festival pays 100% of costs.
Okay.
And for parades, it's the split of the 60-40%.
Okay.
So as you'll see details, for example, even under the police contracts that are listed here, you see one that details full payment for the festival portion and one that details just 40% for the parade portion.
Okay, so.
But what you do have here, as has been noted, and the director says that his fees have been paid, but per city code, you actually, it's 10 days prior to the event that all fees have to be paid, but you do see all of the application fees as are noted here, so whether it's the festival itself through licensing or the $100 money order that you referred to for the Department of Public Works, that's why you see that before you.
So last but not least, this is a new, because I'm comparing apple or oranges here. But I'm looking at the festival of the Palestinian and their application, bazaar checklist and bazaar application. I don't see the names blacked out, well, the addresses. I only see the names, and the other one don't have it. Is this a new norm? A new norm that we're gonna have now, that now they're not gonna disclose the address of the organization, the address of the members and all that? I just wanna make sure if it's a new norm, then apply for everyone, but we cannot apply one thing to one people and not apply for the other. This is for everyone. Council, comment. That's what I'm saying, who blacked it out?
I think in the past, I have seen.
Oh, okay.
Council members,
I'm sorry, Council
please,
President, sorry.
please order, council members.
Madam BA, unless,
say something?
Madam Clerk, unless the organization and the members requested to black out, that's a new norm? They request it?
I don't know.
So, everything is operable, I know, but right now, I would like to know what's the address of the organization, the members' organization, and et cetera. We need to be transparent.
Council
It
President,
should be here.
Just a minute, council members.
I'm saying, I'm not talking about only this one. I'm talking about the past and moving forward. If this is gonna be the new norm of it, then I have to open everything to know what's going on, what's presented here, have to be clarified. I just, you know, and then she
So-
said that.
so-
May I say something?
Councilmember Velez, if I may, before I open the floor for Councilman Davila, Madam Clerk.
So the document was presented to the clerk's office openly. So Phyllis, in her better judgment, thought that she was doing protective work and blocked it out, not knowing that it should not have been blocked out. So that's why.
I'm sorry, Felix.
Okay, all right, so, okay,
Council
Councilwoman
President,
Davila.
I want us to be very mindful, and I want to thank Madam Clerk for that clarification. As someone who sits in the Finance Committee, and Councilman Velez, Councilman Mendez, and Councilman Kalik, this application came to Finance open, with all of the information. The names, for everyone, the names are on the application. And through our deputy clerk, she is the one who blocked out. So please, the entity, the names are here, who's the president, who's the vice, who's the treasurer. So please, let's not make it seem as though the entity blocked this information. This
that was
all
clarified,
provided.
Councilwoman.
No, that was clarified.
Council members, that
Thank
was
you very much.
clarified already by the clerk. Can we proceed with this item, Madam Clerk, item 27?
So, roll call for item number 27 for approval. Councilwoman Cotton,
Yes,
Councilwoman Davila,
Yes.
Councilman Jackson.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. So, just for a point of clarity, the councilman actually has a point. And from past practices, we made sure that all applicants had everything furnished in full. We vote in support of this now, and then moving forward, if there's a different miscalculation on the number of policemen that are utilized and things of that nature, the council no longer has an opportunity to address it. We address those things when the applications are submitted, but I'm not against or not in support, but just for a point of clarity, in the past, from past practices, this has been the practice, to make sure that everything was paid. I recall for specific entities, specifically yourself, Councilwoman Davila, where's the check for the police? Where's the check for EMTs? We've always, in the past, made sure that we've held these entities accountable before they've gotten council approval, and regardless of how long down the line the event may have been. So, with that being said, I mean, there's a lot of things that are happening tonight that have been uncustomarily done, you know, just other items that have to go before a street name committee, some items don't have to go before certain committees. I mean, it's just a matter of practice. So the councilman to the left is correct, but either way, Madam Clerk, my vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilman Jackson. Councilman Kalik?
I see all the paperwork's in order. Police contract, DPW contract, insurance, all the paperwork's in order. My vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilman Kalik. Councilwoman Mims?
So let me just bring some clarity, because I don't want it to be miscommunicated or anyone to feel that I'm against any entity. My point of question was only because there was a big discussion a couple weeks ago in regards to the parade, and now it's a festival, whatever the situation is, and then we received a letter from a lawyer. So I wanted to be clear on our end as the legislative body, and protecting us through our legal corporation counsel to make sure before we vote on this that we're legally protected. With that being stated, I'm never against entertainment or festivals. I think they're wonderful, and our city needs healing. We need things like this in our community. With that being stated, my vote is yes.
Thank you, Dr. Mims. Councilman Velez?
Like I always say, this is a test for the broadcast system, because in the future, I am for the future, and this is what I'm doing at this point. So, for the past 8 years, we see a practice, a norm, approving things. So, if I see this kind of courtesy, when I decide to put a committee together to bring the Puerto Rican parade, I will have the same courtesy, right? Because everybody wants a Puerto Rican parade. Who don't want a Puerto Rican parade in Paterson? Come on. So, and they're saying that last week, and Councilman Mims stated, last week, not last week, past meetings, this was full of people pointing at us like we was our fault, that we was not going to move forward with something that, the only thing that we only approve is the bazaar and festivals, right? So I was looking here, I see the contract of police, it says here that minimum they should have 80 police officers for that festival. It says here, numbers of officers required for parade, but they don't have a parade, is 160, and 80 for festival. I did the math between this application saying that they will have an estimated 6,000 people. I did the math, it's only 60 cops. Hopefully the contract reflect from 60 to 80, because we need to be fair across the board. And let me say this to my friends and family from the Peruvian community. We love the Peruvians, and we love to see the diversity in our city. But when it comes up to parade, festival, we are colorblind. We need to approve things based on the documents that they put in front of us. I'm satisfied that this organization had put forward everything before anybody, but in order, and still, anybody out there that want to challenge this, we only approving the festival, no parades. We had a good discussion with Corporation Counsel and Finance, how this application should be presented in the future, at the title in the resolution, to avoid any confusion. I will be at the festival if they play with order. I hope that this new organization leave behind a good reputation, that we don't have to be in social media like in the past. So let's raise and be proud of Paterson and diversity we have. Que viva el Perú, Chimpú Callao. My vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilman Velez. Mr. President.
Councilmember, let me remind you that we only have 37 items. Let's concentrate on the item. Let's be quick and effective. That way we could do the public portion and we could finish as quick as possible from this meeting. So we just have item 26 was a resolution for a bazaar license for the Palestinian American. That's not a parade. Item 27 is a resolution for a bazaar license for this organization, Peruvian Inc. We're not approving parade. Let's have that clear. I checked all the document. Everything is in order. Everything has been approved by all the department. That's the only thing that we're here for, to approve bazaar, not parade. With that being said, my vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. President. The votes are 7 yeses, 2 absences. Item number 27 is hereby adopted.
Let's continue in order, Madam Clerk. Item 23.
Council President,
Councilwoman Ruby.
I just want to say that our Deputy Clerk did what she thought was best, because we did have a very sensitive item in our agenda, and she did not want it to leave it out so everybody can just look at it. You get your packet on Friday. If you saw something was wrong, you could have called her on Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday to see why is this like this. That's all you had to do.
Yeah, thank you.
Let me say, Deputy Clerk Phyllis Riley. Phyllis, yeah, I understand what she was.
Council
I
members,
understand
please.
what you were doing. You was being very cautious,
Yes.
very cautious of what you were doing, and I understand that.
Yes.
Because everybody had 3 days, they had actually 5 days to figure it out, what was wrong, and the only thing they needed to do was call you, or call the clerk's office.
Thank you,
Thank
council
you.
members, and I definitely have a lot of respect and for our deputy clerk, Ms. Phyllis, and how professional she is. She's definitely very professional on everything that she do. I have a lot of confidence on that. Item 23,
And
Madam
Council
Clerk.
President, we give grace. She just got promoted. Let's give her some grace.
Yeah. Yes. Item 23.
Item number 23, item number 23 is a resolution honoring Rashawn Davis as a recipient of the VFW Public Service Award is sponsored by Councilwoman Ruby N. Cotton, City Council Resolution 24:307.
Second.
Moved by Councilwoman Ruby Cotton, second by Councilwoman Davila, Councilman Mims, and Councilman Velez.
Council President, if you may, before we continue.
Councilman Cotton.
Thank you. Before we continue on, I'm going to add Councilwoman Davila and Councilwoman Mims honoring our Paterson finest.
As a sponsor as well?
Yes.
As co-sponsor or sponsor? Co-sponsor. Thank you. Madam Clerk, let the record reflect that Councilwoman Mims and Councilwoman Davila will be co-sponsor as well of this legislation. Roll call on item number 23.
Yes, Mr. President. Roll call on item number 23 as amended. Councilwoman Cotton.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I just want to say this is a special award for our Paterson finest for Sean Davis. He's the recipient of the Public Service Award with the VFW. He has been in the U.S. Navy. He has been a community person for over 25 years. He has been our Paterson finest fire department for the last 12 years. So this was an honor. This is being done by the state of New Jersey, the VFW, by the state of New Jersey. And I think it's a great honor that they recognize him with the VFW here. Madam Clerk, congratulations, Rashawn Davis. I'm proud, I'm happy. You're our Paterson finest. We got our chief and Alex in the back, but it's important that they recognize you throughout the entire state. They could have picked anybody, but they picked a Patersonian to represent the award for the entire state. They picked a Patersonian. Congratulations, Rashawn Davis. Madam Clerk, my vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilwoman Cotton. Councilwoman Davila.
I want to thank Councilwoman Cotton for adding me as a co-sponsor to this resolution. How beautiful it is when you don't need to speak on the things that you do. Your work shows and others recognize. And so, congratulations to you. Congratulations for your years of service as a U.S. Navy veteran. I know you're a proud father. You're a brother. I know that you've had some losses, and for us to be able to recognize the work that you've been doing for so many years, and as one of our firefighters, our finest, all right, and our bravest, because you are fine and you are brave. With that said, I just want to say congratulations, Rashawn Davis. My vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilwoman Davila. Councilman Jackson.
I think enough was said. I'm gonna let him enjoy that last part of that comment while he can. Madam Clerk, my vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilman Jackson. Councilman Kalik.
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Mims.
To my bro, who's Paterson's bravest, Roshawn, well-deserved. Keep up the great work. We appreciate everything you do, not just as a firefighter, but a part of being the Public Affairs Director for the Bronte organization. My vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Dr. Mims. Councilman Velez.
To Mr. Rashawn Davis, thank you for being a gentleman in all words. So my vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilman Velez. Mr. President.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Without a doubt, we have the best fire departments in the state of New Jersey. They make us proud every day, putting their life on the line. And Rashawn Davis, keep making us proud. Congratulations. My vote is yes.
Thank you, Mr. President. The votes are 7 yeses, 2 absences. Item number 23 is hereby adopted.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item number 24.
Item number 24 is a resolution to amend Resolution number 22:384, authorizing budget revision number 2 to the 2022-2023 Annual Action Plan to amend the HAPWA budget funding, Community Development Resolution 24:308.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Velez, and second by Councilman Mims. Roll call, Madam Clerk, on item 24.
Roll call on item number 24 for approval. Councilwoman Cotton. Yes. Thank you. Councilman Jackson.
Yes.
Councilman Kalik.
Yes.
Councilwoman Mims.
Yes.
Councilman Velez.
Director, you know what you're doing. My vote is yes.
Thank you. Mr. President,
My vote is yes.
so the votes are 6 yeses, 3 absences. Item number 24 is hereby adopted.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item number 25.
Item number 25 is a resolution amending Resolution 20:364, authorizing budget revision number 3 to the 2019-2020 one-year annual action plan to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development to amend the HOPWA COVID-19 Care Act funding, its Community Development Resolution 24:309.
So move.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Velez, second by Councilwoman Mims. Roll call, Madam Clerk, on item number 25.
Roll call on item number 25 for adoption. Councilman Jackson.
Councilman Jackson.
It's only $100.
Yes.
Thank you. Councilman Kalik.
Yes.
Councilwoman Mims.
We felt you needed a good gift tonight, Director. My vote is yes.
Thank you. Councilman Velez.
Director, I stated that you know what you're doing, but your staff also know what they do in professional, yeah. I know. I know. So congratulations. I know you guys do a great job in there and look into everything per site. My vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilman Velez.
Don't leave yet.
Mr. President,
Director, you're not gonna wait for my vote? Director, I just wanna say that you're doing a phenomenal job. That you have a great team. Just keep doing what you're doing, serving the community, serving the people. Those programs that you will have they're helping the community tremendously. So, job well done. With that being said, my vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
thank you, Mr. President.
Joel, don't get
votes
jealous,
are-
Joel.
The votes are 5 yeses, 4 absences. Item number 25 is hereby adopted.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item number 29?
29.
Sorry, 28.
Item number 28 is a resolution authorizing the award of contract under competitive contracting to Coronis Health RCM LLC for the EMS third-party billing RFP number 2024-11 for the fire department's fire resolution 24:312.
So move.
Second.
Moved by Councilwoman Davila, second by Councilman Velez and Councilwoman Mims. Roll call, Madam Clerk, on item number 28.
Roll call on item number 28 for approval. Councilwoman Cotton. Oh, she's up. Councilwoman Davila.
Yes.
Councilman Jackson.
Yes.
Councilman Kalik.
Yes.
Councilwoman Mims.
Yes.
Councilman Velez.
Madam BA, I know this is a third-party billing company, but I know the revenue come through it. So also, I want, how many revenue came in through this billing company, that process they do, when they process things, see how much money we get every time, every year contract. My vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilman Velez. Councilwoman Cotton, we are voting for approval of item number 28. It's award of contract under competitive contract.
Yeah, this for the fire, we always,
I can't hear her. You need to turn. You turn the microphone.
Patersonians are not able to pay, they don't go after them, like the other cities that they have to collect from. So with that being said, my vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilwoman Cotton. Mr. President.
My vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. President. The votes are 7 yeses, 2 absences. Item number 28 is hereby adopted.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item number 29.
Item number 29 is a resolution authorizing the solicitation of bids for the purchase and delivery of up to 3 ambulances, bid number 24.17 for the fire department, fire resolution
So moved.
24:313.
Second.
So move.
Thank you. It was moved by Councilman Velez, Council President Mendez, Councilwoman Davila, and second by Councilwoman Mims. Roll call, Madam Clerk, on item number 29.
Roll call on item number 29 for approval. Councilwoman Cotton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Davila.
Please note, this is for solicitation of bids. My vote is yes.
Thank you. Councilman Jackson.
Yes.
Councilman Khalid.
Yes.
Councilwoman Mims.
Yes.
Councilman Velez.
Based on my experience, they're expensive. My vote is yes.
Mr. President.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. We definitely are in really need of those 3 ambulances. We've been using the same ambulance since COVID. We've been just repairing the ambulance that we have, the engine, and just going after repair. So we're looking forward to have those 3 new ambulances. I know how busy the fire department is. So with that being said, my vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. President. The votes are 7 yeses, 2 absences. Item number 29 is hereby adopted.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item number 30.
Item number 30 is a resolution ratifying an emergency contract with Patwood Roofing Company for new roofing and metal work at the Communications Building for the Fire Department. It's a fire resolution 24:314.
So move.
Moved by Councilwoman Davila. Do we have a second? Second by Councilwoman Mims. Roll call, Madam Clerk, on item number 30.
Roll call on item number 30 for approval. Councilwoman Cotton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Davila.
Yes.
Councilman Jackson.
Yes.
Councilman Khalid.
Yes.
Councilwoman Mims.
Yes.
Councilman Velez.
Yes.
Did you say yes?
You say yes.
Yes,
Mr.
yes.
President.
My vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. The votes are 7 yeses, 2 absences. Item number 30 is hereby adopted.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item number 31.
Item number 31 is a resolution approving settlement of tax appeals on Block 4202, Lot 4, also known as 398-406 Broadway. It's owned by Rosa Parks Senior Apartments LLC. It's a law resolution 24:315.
So move.
Second.
Moved by Councilwoman Davila,
Discussion.
second by Councilwoman Mims.
Discussion.
Discussion, Councilwoman Mims.
So with this particular item, Madam BA, could you give an explanation to the general public? This is a tax appeal for Rosa's Park Senior Apartment. Was this an item that they went through the tax appeal process? Could you explain what this item is about, please?
Thank you, Council President and Councilwoman Mims. I'm going to allow Corporation Counsel to go into detail for this.
Okay.
Council President, may I?
Yes, Corporation Counsel, please.
Thank you, and thank you, Dr. Mims, for that inquiry. So this does resolve a pending tax appeal that's pending in court. As a confidential memo lays out, which was provided to council, this appeal was filed challenging the assessment. It went through the court process. Given the city's current equalization ratio, which we had discussed previously, the city deemed it prudent to settle this tax appeal along the lines suggested. And as a result, a tax appeal, I believe, for the year 2021 will be withdrawn, and going forward, it will be assessed at the agreed-upon rate.
So, Council President,
Thank you for that explanation. I'm fine.
Council President.
Thank you, Corporation Counsel. Councilman Velez.
So in this case, this one is not the one of the previous one that we had and never went to court. This one went to court.
Council President, may I?
Corporation Counsel.
Thank you. All of these settlements actually are in the tax court and pending appeals and presented for your review and approval.
No, I understand it. I just want to make sure that we put on the record, when Cole's Arm came here, they did an administrative tax reduction in their property, right? This one went to the court.
Council President, may I?
Corporation Counsel.
Councilman Velez, thank you for that inquiry. Frankly, I don't have a recollection as to whether or not the status of the one that you're referring to. I can only affirm that this one is in fact in court, but I can confirm the status of the other one for you.
All right, okay.
Thank you.
Council President,
Councilman Jackson.
is there an outline on, because and I apologize, I didn't have an opportunity to thoroughly look over it. Is there an outline on what what the outcome is?
Here's the confidential number, what has like, what it was setting for the appeal, what the final numbers are, if you go on the back page, and what numbers are here. This was handed out today as well.
This was handed out here?
Yeah, it's on everyone's desk. I know you got a lot of paperwork, but if you want to take a moment and review that, that's fine. If you have any questions, let me know.
We don't have it. I gave it to you. We don't have it.
So, Corporation Counsel, just so I'm clear, the, relative to equalization, their assessment is now coming in lower?
The assessment, do you have an extra copy from me?
No, I don't have it. We weren't. Did you give him an extra copy? 'Cause I have an extra. You have a copy of the confidential?
This is working. You want to use that one?
He's going back to his seat.
Well, you said I should have the same document here, right? The assessment for 31. Yeah, 31. No.
You have an extra? An extra.
Yeah, that's the document, right?
You got it. If you go to that page, and you can also go here to tell you what the current assessment is.
Yeah. So
Right, it's at the ratio, and then this is what the settlement number is. So they're giving up the 2021 appeal, and then going forward, 22 and 23 is what the assessment.
Yeah, but I'm trying to understand, like, how are these? Okay, so I'll wait, Corporation Counsel, because understanding that they went to court, they're attesting here that they're foregoing their appeal, and this settlement has actually been negotiated. So, who negotiated the settlement on our behalf?
Thank you for that question, Councilman Jackson. So, there are several years that they appealed for, years 21, 22, and 23. As a part of the negotiated agreement, they're waiving the appeal for 2021, but the city is settling the appeals for year 22 and 23. That was negotiated through the law department. We have a tax attorney on staff who deals exclusively with these matters, in conjunction with our experts who we utilize. Once we negotiate these settlements in principle, we always present it to the council for their review and final approval.
Okay, so within this package was missing, and I didn't have, Council President handed over his, I didn't have this document. So within this package, what's not being considered is on what basis these the negotiations, because it's not an appeal. They actually, it's essentially could have lost the appeal. But they're being granted for a reduction, and it's being based upon what? Like, all I'm trying to understand is the method in which it's being done, because that way I can tell taxpayers who own 1 and 2 family houses that they should just go to the legal department and be able to negotiate a different assessment value on their taxes. So what I'm curious about is indicative actual market value was outside the corridor under the New Jersey Chapter 123. And the reason I'm asking this, because I had an opportunity to sit down with the owners of Co-Arms, who's claiming that there's a substantial loss, but when we actually do the numbers, they're seeing a substantial profit. So on what basis was this tax reduction? It's not an appeal, it's a tax reduction, more or less. On what basis was it granted? Were we looking at their P&Ls? Are we looking at, vacancy rate? Or have they done an enormous amount of improvements, upgrades? What exactly are we factoring in when this, within your office, when these organizations, these grand scale, buildings come to your office, what is being considered when we're giving them this tax reduction?
Council President, may I?
Sure, Corporation Counsel.
Madam Clerk, may I? Yes, sir. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Councilman Jackson, for that inquiry. So first and foremost, as the memorandum indicates, they did file complaints with the tax court, so this is a pending appeal. If residents do not decide to go through that process, then it wouldn't involve the law department. They can certainly go to the tax assessor and have those discussions. But this was filed with the tax court. As we've previously stated, Councilman, the problem here is the equalization ratio upon which everyone is taxed, property taxes are based upon. The city has not done a revaluation of all properties, and given that there's no rolling reevaluation, the equalization ratio starts to drop. And that usually forms a basis upon which someone can file a complaint with the tax court and seek a reduction based off what the city's equalization ratio is. I'm happy to have a further conversation with you. I know we've had some conversations in the Finance Committee about this particular issue and how it's reoccurring. And as the city's equalization ratio continues to decline, meaning that property tax may not be spread fairly and equally across the board, the City Council can expect more and more of these appeals to come before it.
Okay, but again, it doesn't outline where it lacks an equalization. You have an entity that is profitable. They have a number of residents, however many residents that there are, and their property generally is valued based upon the solvency or the revenue that it's generating. So there is none of that here. We're not showing how many units they have, what is the amount of rents that they're collecting monthly, what's their expenditures relative to taking care of the residents that live in their building. We're granting that on what? Because normally, in the past, every 10 years, the city would do the reassessment. Now, what we've done as of recently, and I'm not sure, if we've kept up with it, but every year there's a 10% ratio, which we're supposed to have been doing an evaluation, which would then bring us to the 10-year margin. But even if we weren't, it doesn't require, even in the past, we did it every 10 years. So we hired a firm, come in and do an assessment, or what we should have been doing is hiring personnel that's going to go out and do the due diligence. Just granting, we're going to have more entities coming before us saying that they're deserving of a reduction in taxes, and they're not rendering any additional services, and or in fact, what I'm trying to get to is relative to equalization. A lot of these units, once they have a vacancy, they're raising their rents. So these are the same facilities that's charging our residents astronomical amounts in rents, and we're not collecting on the backside. So I just need more clarity on what exactly, when we talk about equalization, I don't see it being a reduction. I see it as the market has increased. Rents have increased. The only thing that's been decreased is inventory. People I have people calling me every day looking for apartments. So they've had has there been a vacancy, uptick in their facilities? Have they had to, go out and render additional support services or anything like that? I don't understand how these entities are making the claim that they're not making money.
Councilman
Counsel.
Jackson, just very briefly, Council President.
Counsel.
Sure, and right after
And
Councilmember.
your
Go
points are
ahead.
well taken, Councilman Jackson. Specifically here, what I will say is that, again, the years appealed are 21, 22, and 23. They're foregoing the 21 appeal. But you're right, there's different ways that you can assess value. Sometimes in the case when the property hasn't traded hands for years and years and years, each side retains their experts, and then those sides present it in court. Sometimes there's a resolution, sometimes the court rules. Another way that you can assess valuation before you apply the equalization rate to that value is recent sales. So in this particular situation, this property traded hands at an arm's length transactions for $3.5 million, I believe, in 2020. And that is the customary practice to determine what a real buyer, what the real market value is for a property, what someone is willing to pay for it on an open sale. And so that's the basis upon which this particular settlement was achieved at. They got the property value of $3.5 million based off a recent comp sale, and then they applied the equalization ratio to that to arrive what the tax lawyer in the law department believes, and I concur with him, is a reasonable settlement of this particular matter.
I'm
Counsel-
sorry, Council President, just one last line of questioning. How many units in this facility?
50. I think it's 50 in there.
Council President, Mayor?
Yes, go ahead, Corporation Counsel.
Yes, Councilman Jackson, it says that it has 50 units in there.
And the claim is that it just changed hands for how much?
No, the memo says that it traded hands in, I believe, or it was sold at an arm's length transaction on October 1, 2020. And the tax appeal years that are being resolved currently are 21, 22, and 23.
No. You just stated a number in which this facility was supposed to have changed hands for how much? An arm's length transaction for how much?
3.5 million.
50 units for $3.5 million.
Wow.
We sold an empty lot for $3 million. 50 units for $3.5 million. Even, let's just say, if we did just a simple math equation and generalize it at $150,000 per unit.
Councilman Johnson, I'm going to go over to my desk.
Sure. And everybody should be able to understand that $150,000 per unit is very low. But at $150,000 a unit, that's $7.5 million. We're going to take, where's the due diligence on who the transaction was from? I mean, we know these entities form a new corporation and do a supposed arm's length transaction to create a cloud in value. But informally, I see Councilman McCoy in the audience, and I'm not sure if some of the other council members recall this, but as a commercial property owner, I used to get forms from the city that required you to report your revenue generated, and that was specifically for these entities or the buildings that was in the downtown district, because for many years they received a courtesy tax reduction because the facilities were not occupied upstairs. But if you're collecting rents, and we're talking about people coming to bring forward a tax appeal, we should understand exactly how much revenue they're generating. Just the fact that they made a claim that this building sold for $3.5 million, this building we're in, we bought it for $7 million. So a 50-unit building, I'm hoping that people understand that, what we're talking about here. 50 units for $3.5 million. That's not.
Yeah.
Council President,
Council President.
Thank you.
may I very,
Hey.
very briefly?
Please,
And so,
Corporation Counsel, right after this, Councilmember, this item will be tabled, but I have Councilman Mims before this item. We will table this item to have more discussion at the workshop. Quite honestly, the reality, the fact of the matter is that a lot of those entities,
Yes.
they're taking advantage of the loophole that we have,
Yes.
which is we have done the reassessment
We're granting
citywide.
it to them.
And there's a
Let me,
loophole there, so we have to have more discussion on this item, but it will be tabled right after Councilman Mims Go ahead, Corporation Counsel.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
And again, Councilman Jackson's points are well taken. I will say that in this situation, in addition to the property trading at an arm's length transaction for $3.5 million, the city did retain its own expert that performed a market value for the settlement purposes, and the city's appraisal expert performed a market value analysis using the income approach, and using that approach, including income, expenses, and vacancy, they confirmed that the value was approximately $3.5 million. So we're more than happy to table this and have a further discussion. Councilman Jackson, I invite you to my office.
That's right.
And we're happy to answer any other questions that any of the other council members
Thank you, Corporation Counsel. Councilman Mims?
So, first, I think items like this, before it comes to the agenda, there needs to be, it needs to come before us in workshop, so we can gain full understanding of what they're trying to accomplish. Because I want if one or two entities are going to receive benefits, we should put it to the public so the taxpayers can receive some benefits, especially with the increase of taxes that consistently happens, whether it's by MOU or that we have to increase school board. But if this is a way that the entities can find a way to have some kind of type of equity or sustainability in their tax base, then this, Council President, I'm going to remove my motion, my second I did on this item, but I also would like to see this on the workshop as a discussion before any other entities are put on the agenda. That is just my request.
Council President.
1 second, Councilman Velez. Councilwoman Ruby Cotton?
Okay, thank you. I just want Corporation Counsel, you said that they went down to tax court, and what did the tax court said? That we should negotiate it, or the tax court said that they had the right for reduction? Now, this building here is a HUD building, and the rent can't go but so high, because most of the tenants in the building pay a percentage of their income, which is 30%. But my question to you is, did the tax court say to the city of Paterson, the property is worth $3.5 million, did they win in tax court, or the tax court said to us, you need to go back and negotiate? I'm not sure which one it was. Now, this building, they cannot charge $1,800. They cannot charge, and the question is that because the HUD is unfair to me in certain parts of this country, because certain zip codes get higher rent money than certain other zip codes. So I find that zip code 075, HUD doesn't pay out that much more money. But my question to you, and I can understand that this is a 50 unit, this is a HUD building. I'm not sure what happened with the previous owner, but I want to know, did the state court said to you, to say to the city, you need to go and negotiate the price of the reduction? That's what I think. And I think that they need to, and I can understand that they need to understand, like, how much money that they were receiving, and how much expenses that they were putting out. I think that's going to need to be put in record too. How much they receiving, how much they're expensive. But this is not a building where they can charge you $2,000. They can't.
Council President.
Because HUD has a cap. When you ever get HUD funding, they have a cap on how much you can charge for rent. They have a cap. So,
It's not true.
Can you bring that information back for the next meeting? Thank you.
Council President, I'll remove my motion.
Thank you, Councilwoman Davila, for removing your motion. Councilman Velez, you ready?
Before I remove my motion, I just want to keep this clear, colleagues. I keep it in mind. Since 2022, we have an excess. In other words,
Councilman Velez, excuse me, let the record reflect that the motion was moved by Councilwoman Davila and moved by Councilman Mims, but
okay, Council President, when you allow me to make my statement? Yeah. So even the motion was removed, I understand that, but let me keep in mind to my colleagues, and we could go to the records. A lot of people from Brooklyn are coming to purchase buildings here, okay? And you're going to see all this tax appeal, all that stuff, because they know they purchased the building in one price, and they know they're increasing rent left and right. So keep in mind on that. That's another subject, but I just want to make sure that this
Council President.
individual is not coming from New York buying buildings and then increasing rent down the road.
Thank you, Councilman Jackson.
And also, Council President, last but not least, Madam BA, this is a subject that when we're in a workshop, if you could have the tax appeal, not the tax appeal, the tax assessor director to come forward to the workshop and explain us some process, because it's good for us.
Thank you, Councilman Jackson.
Thank you, Council President. I'll be extremely brief. So here you have, it's very simple. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to understand this stuff. Just pick up your device. It's not the 1930s. We have access to information. 48 Chadwick Street. And some of you lucky individuals can take part in this and be owners today. 48 Chadwick Street, 9-unit apartment building, $3.8 million. It's on sale, on the market right now. 630 Main Street, 4-family house, $900,000. 165 Barclay Street, Paterson, New Jersey, 07503, 42 units, $7.5 million. Where are we getting this equalization rates from? I mean, the market hasn't tanked in Paterson. In fact, it's more vibrant than it's ever been. You can't even find a place to buy. 12-56 River Road, oh, this is in Fairlawn. 10 units, $4.75 million. 4.7. 55 Main Street, bankruptcy auction. This is a not even built site. They don't have a price for that. You could just bid on it. But, I mean, this is down the line. You got a New Life Auto Body. Well, that doesn't have the unit count. But anyway, we have to stop selling ourselves short. We're letting people come in here and take advantage of us. And then they don't even treat the residents properly. They go in there, they don't do any repairs. They let the properties go derelict for years and years on end. They come file for a tax appeal, and then they'll come back and get tax credits just so they could put a developer's fee in their pockets for $40, $30 million. I mean, we're being taken advantage of. I mean, this is extremely irresponsible. But I'll rest it there, Council President.
Thank you, Councilman Jackson. As I mentioned in the beginning, those entities, they're taking advantage about the loophole that we have right here because of the reassessment hasn't been done in the city of Paterson. I have right now on the contract 3 units for $825,000, 3 units here in the city of Paterson, and you talking about 50 units for $3.5 million. That doesn't make sense. So, council members, we're going to have this item is going to be tabled, and we're going to have discussion on the next workshop. So, Madam Clerk, let's move on to item number 32.
Is it, Council President, is it tabled indefinitely?
It's tabled, and we're going to have it for discussion only at the next workshop. Just for discussion only, council members. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. So item number 32 is a resolution authorizing the award of contract to Ben Schaefer Recreation, Inc. under Educational Services Commission of New Jersey Co-op 65 MCES CCPS bid number ESC NJ 2021-2022 for the purchase and installation of playground equipment for East Side Park for the Department of Public Works. It's a Public Works Resolution 24:316.
Council President, let her finish.
It was moved by Council President Mendez, second by Councilwoman Davila,
Second.
Councilwoman Mims, and Councilman Velez. Roll call, Madam Clerk, on item 32.
Yes, Mr. President. Roll call on item number 32. Councilwoman Cotton? Yes. Councilwoman Davila?
Yes.
Councilman Jackson?
Yes.
Councilman Kalik?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mims?
I am so glad we're getting new playground equipment at East Side Park. Let's clap it up for this item. Finally! Broken swings, slides cracked.
right.
Paterson, here you go.
That's
My
right.
vote is yes.
Thank you, Dr. Mims. Councilman Velez?
I want to commend Councilman Mendez and Councilwoman Melissa Benz, and also Councilman Lodge Marissa, and also the DPW committee chair, okay? Because we work together to make sure our parks improve in the city. And Director, thank you for taking our concern and request deeply for your department and your engineering department and all of the above for the work that you do for the park. So my vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilman Velez. Mr. President,
Thank you. We'll continue moving the third ward forward. I want to thank all my council colleagues for the great support on this item. Definitely, so we have we're going to have a brand new playground at Eastside Park for our children to make sure that they enjoy. Very soon, we're going to have a groundbreaking, and you will see. So we're moving the city forward. We're moving the third ward forward. Continue making progress. With that being said, Madam Clerk, my vote is yes.
thank you, Mr. President. The votes are 7 yeses, 2 absences. Item number 32 is hereby adopted.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item number 33.
Item number 33 is a resolution authorizing award of contract to ATT Sports, Inc. for resurfacing of the track at Paterson Barley Stadium under Educational Services Commission of New Jersey, Co-op 65 MCES CCPS bid number ESCNJ 2223-47 for the Department of Public Works Resolution 24:317.
Second.
It was moved by Councilwoman Davila and Councilman Velez, and second by Councilwoman Mims.
Discussion.
Discussion, Councilwoman Mims.
So I just have a quick question. Is this stadium field, is it owned by the city or is it the school district?
Right here.
City.
It's owned by the city?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
That's my question.
Thank you. Roll call, Madam Clerk, on item 33.
Roll call on item number 33. Councilwoman Cotton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Davila.
Yes.
Councilman Jackson.
Yes.
Councilman Kalik.
Yes.
Councilwoman Mims.
This is another win for our children. My vote is yes.
Councilman
wins.
Velez.
Definitely it is. School 15 is the Eastside High School and other events that the city could host there. We don't need to go every time to Hinckley Stadium. We got a field next to my house, so I'm happy to see that the progress that we have been doing there. So my vote is yes.
Thank you. Mr. President,
My vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
thank you. The votes are 7 yeses, 2 absences. Item number 33 is hereby adopted.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item number 34.
Item number 34 is resolution authorizing the award of contract to Smith Sunday Asphalt Construction Company, Inc. for the Board of Health and City Hall parking lots improvements and resurfacing, bid number 24.09 for the Engineering Division of the Department of Public Works.
So move.
Public Works Resolution 24:318.
Second.
It was moved by Councilman Velez, Councilwoman Davila, and second by Councilwoman Mims. Roll call, Madam Clerk, on item 34.
Roll call on item number 34. Councilwoman Cotton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Davila.
Finally, the Board of Health parking lot will be improved and fixed. My vote is yes.
Councilman Jackson.
Yes.
Councilman Kalik.
Yes.
Councilwoman Mims.
Councilman Abdelaziz is not here tonight, but I just think everybody's a part of the Get It Done committee. So GTD, getting it done. My vote is yes.
Thank you. Councilman Velez.
That's a good thing, having a DPW committee that works. Director, thank you for listening to our voice, especially to the employees of the Board of Health and the customers and clientele that goes their constituents, and also to the city parking lot that we have behind the City Hall. Our secretary used it, and is coming along. If any asphalt is left, please, let's use it to cover some potholes around the city. Just kidding. Just kidding. My vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilman Velez. Mr. President.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I know the Director of George Hermida is very happy. I mean, and the community as well, the Health Department. building is being used for for all the residents of the great city of Paterson. And that building is in total, the parking lot is in total disrepair. So this is definitely needed, and this is the best way to move our city forward. With that being said, my vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. President. The votes are 7 yeses, 2 absences. Item number 34 is hereby adopted.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item number 36.
35.
Sorry, 35.
Item number 35 is a resolution authorizing award of contract to Smith Sunday Asphalt Construction Company, Inc. for road resurfacing of portions of Manchester Avenue and William Street, bid number 24.15 for the Engineering Division of the Department of Public Works, Resolution 24:319.
Second.
Moved by Councilman Shaheen Khalid and second by Councilwoman Davila and Councilwoman Mims as well. Roll call, Madam Clerk, on item 35.
Roll call on item number 35. Councilwoman Cotton,
Yes.
Councilwoman Davila.
Yes.
Councilman Jackson,
Yes.
Councilman Khalid,
Yes.
Councilwoman Mims,
I'm glad I supported you, Councilman Khalid. My vote is yes.
Yes.
Councilman Velez.
I just want to keep on the record, Councilman Khalid, that Madam BA, I stated before, we have almost a year that we approve speed humps in our city as an ordinance. If this scope of work and it's required by traffic engineering that speed humps should be installed at the same time they resurfacing it, it will save us money, it will save us time, and then we don't have to come back and try to comply with the ordinance speed hump. If these roads are meted because accident studies or whatever says that reducing or those kind of accidents requires speed hump, we already have the ordinance in place. Let's install it and let's get it moving, and then we don't have to go back to it. That's just a little personal thing for Councilman Khalid, because sometimes they come back after they resurface a speedway, and we want to prevent any accident or pedestrian accidents here. My vote is yes on this.
Thank you, Councilman Velez. Mr. President.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. My vote is yes.
Thank you, Mr. President. The votes are 7 yeses, 2 absences. Item number 35 is hereby adopted.
Thank
Let's
you,
do item
Council. Good night.
36, Madam Clerk.
Item number 36 is a resolution addressing renewal of an entertainment show license for Maranza Enterprises LLC, trading as Zona Urbana Fusion Cantina, 58-60 Ellison Street, First Ward, Finance Resolution 24:320.
So moved.
It was moved by Councilman Velez and Council President Mendez, second by Councilwoman Mims.
And
Roll call,
Davila.
And Davila as well.
Yes.
Roll call, Madam
Council President, let the record reflect for Madam Clerk, this is in the 5th Ward.
I'm sorry?
This is in the 5th Ward.
So it was
For
moved.
the record, yeah, for the record.
Okay. so-
It was moved by Councilman Velez, Council President Mendez, Councilwoman Mims, Madam Clerk, and second by Councilwoman Davila. Roll call, Madam Clerk, on item 36.
Roll call on item number 36 as amended. Let the record reflect that 58-60 Ellison Street is in the 5th Ward. So the resolution will have to be redone. Roll call on item number 36, Councilwoman Cotton. Oh, sorry. Councilwoman Davila?
Yes.
Councilman Jackson? Yes. Councilman Khalid?
Yes, Madam Clerk.
Councilwoman Mims?
All I'm going to say, thank you for your lomo sentado. My vote is yes.
Councilman Velez?
Good place, as when the road was redistricted, was from Prospect Park all the way down to the Great Falls, so that falls in the 5th Ward, New District 510. So my vote is yes.
Thank
I had a
you.
landslide.
Mr. President?
We have to continue supporting our local business. My vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. President. The votes are 6 yeses, 3 absences. Item number 36 is hereby adopted.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Item number 37.
Item number 37 is a resolution addressing renewal of a dancehall license for Maranza Enterprises LLC, trading as Zona Urbana Fusion Cantina, 58-60 Ellison Street, 5th Ward.
Thank you.
Finance Resolution 24:321.
So moved. Move.
It was moved by Councilwoman Davila, Councilman Velez, and second by Councilwoman Mims and Council President Mendez. Roll call, Madam Clerk, on item 37.
Roll call on item number 37. Councilwoman Cotton? Yes. Councilwoman Davila?
Yes.
Councilman Jackson?
Yes.
Councilman Kalik?
Yes.
Councilwoman Mims?
Thank you for your chaffa. My boy was yes.
Councilman Velez?
Council President, if I can, may I ask you a request that before you leave tonight to sign the original, because they need this license tomorrow, to make sure that they get it before an event they have on Saturday, please. My vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilman Velez. Mr. President?
Thank you, Councilman Velez. I sign all the resolution before I leave the building in every meeting. So, but we have to definitely continue supporting local business. The economy is tough, and as a council, as the members of this community, as an elected official, is our responsibility to be there when a business need it, and to make sure that they operate it within the law with all the license in place. So with that being said, my vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. President. The votes are 7 yeses, 2 absences. Item number 37 is adopted as amended.
Thank you, Madam
It
Clerk.
has to be amended, remember, 5th Ward. It has to be amended.
Exactly. So Madam Clerk, there's 2 items that we're gonna have together on second reading, which is item number 1, establishing handicap, and item number 4 on second reading, establishing handicap. So let's do item 1 and 4 together on second reading,
Yes.
and public hearing for both.
Yes, sir. Item number 1 is a second reading ordinance. Public hearing is required. It's an ordinance establishing parking spaces at various locations on county roads, 117 Marshall Street, 485 Market Street, 626 Madison Avenue, 91 Hayden Avenue, South Side, 304 Totowa Avenue, South Side, 71 Marshall Street, East Side, 333 Totowa Avenue, North Side, and 84 Grand Street, South Side. Item number 4 is also a second reading ordinance establishing handicap parking spaces at various locations on Cedar Road, 271 Spring Street, North Side, 359 Trenton Avenue, South Side, Buffalo Avenue Side, 947 East 27th Street, East Side, 533 21st Avenue, North Side, 331 20th Avenue, North Side, 864 East 24th Street, West Side, 829 East 22nd Street, East Side, 155 16th Avenue, North Side, 740 East 26th Street, West Side, 468 Ellison Street, South Side, 666 East 22nd Street, West Side, 237 12th Avenue, North Side, 257 12th Avenue, North Side. That's it. 193 Fulton Street, North Side, 445 East 26th Street, East Side, 145 4th Avenue, North Side, 110 Redwood Avenue, North Side, 171 Sheridan Avenue, South Side, 149 Ryerson Avenue, South Side, 31 Ryerson Avenue, South Side, 179 Edmund Avenue, South Side, 177 Carlisle Avenue, North Side, 70 Plum Street, West Side, 65 Bloomfield Avenue, West Side, 242 Sussex Street, West Side, 102 Genesee Avenue, South Side, 82 Genesee Avenue, South Side, 204 23rd Avenue, South Side, 9 Rose Street, East Side, 79 17th Avenue, North Side, 87 Jasper Street, South Side, 16 Barnett Place, North Side, 122 Maple Street, South Side, 149 Walnut Street, North Side, 42 Manchester Avenue, East Side, 60 Garrison Street, South Side, 132 Jasper Street, East Side, 16 Redwood Avenue, East Side, 61 Redwood Avenue, west side, 124 Sheridan Avenue, east side, 32 James Street, south side, 267 Edmond Avenue, west side, 92 North 4th Street, south side.
So moved.
It was moved by Councilwoman Mims, second by Councilwoman Roy Cotton. Roll call, public hearing is now open for item number 1 and 4. Those that wish to speak on this two items.
See no one, move to
Mike?
close.
Second.
See none, move to close by Councilman Velez, second by Councilwoman Mims and Councilman Davila. Roll call, Madam Clerk, to close the public hearing on item number 1 and 4.
Roll call to close public hearing on item numbers 1 and 4. Councilwoman Cotton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Davila.
Yes.
Councilman Jackson.
Yes.
Councilman Kalik.
Yes.
Councilwoman Mims.
Yes.
Councilman Velez.
Yes.
Mr. President.
Yes, Madam Clerk.
So the votes are 7 yeses, 2 absences. Public hearing on items number 1 and 4 is now closed.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Let's do item 2 and 3 on second
No,
reading.
we have to roll call.
I'm sorry,
to
roll
adopt.
call, Madam Clerk, on item 1 and 4. My apologies.
Roll call on items 1 and 4 for approval. Councilwoman Cotton.
Yes.
Councilwoman Davila.
Yes.
Councilman Jackson.
Yes.
Councilman Kalik.
Yes.
Councilwoman Mims.
Yes.
Councilman Velez.
Yes.
Mr. President.
My vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
So the votes are 7 yeses, 2 absences. Items 1 and 4 are hereby adopted.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Let's do item 2 and 3, Madam Clerk, together. They're both repealing and establishing handicap.
Items 2 and 3. The first one, item number 2, is a second reading ordinance. Public hearing is required. It's ordinance repealing establishment of handicap parking spaces on county roads. The addresses are 329 Getty Avenue and 93 Spruce Street. Item number 3 is also a second reading ordinance repealing establishment of handicap parking spaces at various locations, 440 East 33rd Street, 92 4th Avenue, 300 Pacific Street, 576 East 24th Street, 126 Albion Avenue, 572 East 21st Street, 493 Tautoa Avenue, 259 Pacific Street, 452 East 42nd Street, 31 19th Avenue, 118 East 32nd Street, 87 North 5th Street. It's Public Works Ordinance 24-028.
So move.
Second.
It was moved by Councilman Davila, second by Councilman Velez and Councilman Mims. Public hearing is now open for item 2 and 3. Those who wish to speak on this item may come to the mic now.
Seeing none, move to
See no one
close.
to move.
Move.
Close.
Move to close by Councilwoman Davila and second by Councilman Velez and Councilwoman Mims. Roll call, Madam Clerk, on item number 2 and number 3.
Roll call on items 2 and 3 for approval. Councilwoman Cotton. Councilwoman Davila.
Yes.
Councilman Jackson.
Yes.
Councilman Kalik.
Yes.
Councilwoman Mims.
Yes.
Councilman Velez.
Yes.
Mr. President.
Yes to close the public hearing on item 2 and 3. Now roll call, Madam Clerk, for the final approval on item 2 and 3.
Roll call for approval of items 2 and 3. Councilwoman Cotton. Yes. Councilwoman Davila.
Yes.
Councilman Jackson.
Yes.
Councilman Kalik.
Yes.
Councilwoman Mims.
So not only am I excited to vote on this item, this will conclude the agenda for all of the items tonight. Great job, Council President. My vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilwoman Dr. Mims. Councilman Velez.
Delight. My vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilman Velez. Mr. President.
My vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you. The votes are 7 yeses, 2 absences. Items number 2 and 3 are hereby adopted.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Members of the public, we're finished with the 37 item that we had on the agenda. Now, members of the public, we're going to open the public portion. You have a clock in front of you that have 3 minutes where you're going to start with your 3 minutes. At the end of your 3 minutes, I'm going to respectfully will ask you to move out of the mic and allow the next speaker to use his 3 minutes. So with that being said, let's be respectful and let's be mindful of the time. So the clock is in front of you. With that being said, Madam Clerk, let's call the first speaker.
Yes, Mr. President. Where is the roll? Where is the public? Okay,
Yeah, we just have a few.
10.
We have 10 speakers. First speaker, Madam Clerk?
The first speaker is Ms. Eva Razak.
Eva.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Well, two things. I really wanted to express my condolence to the mayor for losing his mommy, because that is a very hard pill to swallow. So, Mayor, I am so sorry for you losing your mommy, but I saw a picture of her. She's so beautiful. She looked like Barbara Streisand. I gotta say that. Also, Happy Mom's Days for the ladies, and for the Dominicans that are coming up, Happy Mom's Day. I wanted to discuss something, but I got to talk to Mr. Billy regarding some issues on that ward. So Mr. Billy called and said that they were going to take care of it. So on that behalf, I just wanted to say that. Also, I wanted to mention this. Probably I get myself caught up in trouble, but I'm going to be honest on this. I wanted to say congratulations to all those who have won, even though that there's still some, I guess, votes that are still being counted. But I wanted to say this to whoever votes are settled in, that they are the winners. Let's embrace the others that didn't make it, and I guess embrace each other and use the ideas that we all had, because if you come to look at it, everyone wants the best for our wards and for our people, our residents. That being said, also, I wanted to tell all the people that came out to vote and those who didn't come out to vote that you're still being counted and your needs are going to be met, because I pray to God that everyone who comes out to be a winner does what they need to do for their wards. Also, if I didn't hear it wrong, Mr. Mendez, is there going to be a speed bump? I know they mentioned it for the 5th ward, but is there going to be a speed bump in our block? Yes?
Sure. I will answer you, Eva. At the end of the public portion, I will get back to you, okay?
Okay.
Sure.
Yes. Well, thank you so much, and that's what I really wanted to say. And let's continue to work together and share each other and love each other and respect each other and honor each other, because at the end, ladies and gentlemen, whatever we do in darkness comes to light. And we need the city to move forward and feel comfortable and just love each other. And thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Mayor, once again, sorry for your loss, because Mr. Velez, I need you to know something. If my daddy would have been alive, it would be his birthday tomorrow. So that being said, I know it's a hard pill to swallow. So thank you, everyone. God bless.
God bless.
And all my residents, I love you guys. I really mean that. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Eva. Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
The next speaker is Mr. Eddie Olivares.
Yes, hi, good evening, everyone.
If it can't run.
Good evening, Paterson.
If it's not running.
The first thing I like to do is, I did something that I usually don't. I don't really use the phone. But anyway, the first thing I like to do is congratulate everyone, including Mr. Jackson. I know there's talk about, vote by mails. In my opinion, the only way that you could lose is if they cheat with the votes by mail. But I want to congratulate everyone on your win, everyone. It was a pleasure working on your campaign to see what seemed like an insurmountable task, and you did it. You did it with the whole administration against you, and an awful lot of resources against you, and against all odds, you won, and I congratulate you. It was a pleasure working with you. Now, I am going to have to take a different approach than my dear friend Eva, because she wants us to hold hands and kumbaya. I'm afraid it's not possible. you know, once again, I have to tell you, I don't know how many times I heard Councilman Kalik and Councilman Velez talk about moving the city forward. And lately, I've heard a lot about parks, and it is nice for our children to have safe spaces where they can play. It is good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But I am here to tell you that until you guys do something about crime, the city is not moving forward. Until you do something about the trash, we're not moving forward. Until you do something about the drug problem, the city is not moving forward. Until you do something about the killings of our children, the city is not moving forward. So I hope that I can stop coming here and saying to you guys, and I've said this many times. I was working, when we started this whole campaign, I started working with your opponent, Fania Santana, through a group that is called Dominican American Political Force. And many times I said, you know, and I was thinking about running against you, but I decided not to, because that organization, they wanted to support me and support her, and our thinking clash. It's the complete opposite, the way she thinks and the way I think. And so, you cannot tell me that, you know, this looks like you want to be with God and the devil at the same time. And so, I decided not to run, but I hope, because I said many times, and with this I will conclude, I said many times to them, you know, and I know that a lot of you will feel offended when I say that, but I used to tell them, what is it, why do you need Fania? 8 of you are with the administration. What is it that you want to do with 9 clowns that you cannot do with 8?
Please wrap it up, Commissioner.
So, bottom line is, I hope I can stop coming here and saying that. I hope that we do move the city forward, lowering crime, trash, drug problem, killings. I mean, I can go on and on and on. So please,
Thank you,
please,
Mr.
guys,
Everybody.
that's how you move the city forward.
Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
Elvis Durham.
Be mindful of the time, members of the public, please.
Mr. Elvis Durham. Council President, City Council, just want y'all to know that we got work to do. The election is over. And to everyone that had ran, congratulations. Even the candidates that, I ain't say lost, but got another season that's coming in the near future. It's time for us to work together. This is the 3rd largest city in New Jersey. We don't have too much to show for. No hotels, no performing arts center. It's time for us to work together. You want to build a city? Let's come together. To the Peruvian Festival Committee, I'm behind y'all 150%. I'm behind every community that's doing entertainment. My number is 862-823-3895. I'll give y'all my number when I'm finished. Saturday, June 15th, just want y'all to know I had to drag myself here. I'm not myself today, but y'all continue to pray for me. This ain't myself. But Saturday, June 15, 2024, is the celebration of African community, amen? 9 a.m., Saturday, June 15 at 9 a.m. at the Underground Railroad, 125 Broadway, Paterson, New Jersey, 9 a.m. until 9:50 a.m. And then it will be the African Heritage Parade, Saturday, June 15, same day, at 10 a.m., starting from the Masonic Temple, 224 Broadway, Paterson, New Jersey. Anybody that would like to be in the parade, you see, everybody in the black community says it's time to build, right? Well, let's build this parade. Be in it. You could call Miss Ada, 862-823-5483. Okay? We need people to be in the parade so our parade could be successful. Also, Juneteenth celebration. Saturday, June 15, 2024, 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. at Eastside Park, 8 o'clock p.m., Eastside Park, 80 Broadway, starts at 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. And the Grand Marshal is the Queen of Paterson, Vera Ames. The male Grand Marshal is Teddy Martinez Jr., right? And the duty Grand Marshal is Valerie Freeman, better known as Big V. Okay, so y'all got the announcements from me. My birthday celebration is coming up, y'all. Sunday, May 19, right here in Paterson, New Jersey, 170 North Main Street at 4 o'clock p.m. I'm asking everyone, please come out and support me. You know, I do a lot for this city. I'm doing this birthday celebration gospel concert so I could be able to go to South Carolina. Okay, anybody that would love to give me donation, y'all got my number. To the people on TV land, my number is 862-823-3895. My celebration will be in Paterson Sunday, May 19, and it's going to featuring Ashley Motley of Paterson, New Jersey, Dominique Tisdale of Trenton, New Jersey. And it's going to be at 170 North Main Street, Paterson, New Jersey. And I'm looking for y'all to support so me and my music production could go to South Carolina to talk to new businesses to come to Paterson and also to do this new video. Okay?
Thank you.
I need y'all support. God bless y'all.
God bless you, Elvis. Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
Alexander Green.
Mr. Green.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Mr. Green.
How are y'all? I'm known also as the White Wolf for those that do not know, and those that do know, thank you, and I commend you. And I'm commending those that's got your seats. Let's get busy. You know, it's that time of the year now. You know what you got to do, and if y'all need my assistance, you know where I'll be. Right here in Paterson, I'm considered this all city, not just one ward or two wards. I mean, the whole city is home, and that's how everybody should look at it, even though you represent your own ward. But still in all, we're products of our community. So I'm here to let y'all know and inform y'all that there will be a Super Gospel Fest 2024, Saturday, June 22nd, 2024, starts at 4 p.m., doors open at 3:30. And this is at Bethel AME Church. That's 2-4 Auburn Street, Paterson, New Jersey. Featuring concerts is several artists, including myself. So if you can appear, this is on a Saturday, please come forward. If you cannot, pass the word on. I mean, because like the more the merrier, the better the community, more unity, more strength. Indicated what time? The times for the show starts at 4 p.m. Doors open at 3:30. And I'll repeat the address again. It's at 2-4 Auburn Street, which actually 2 blocks away from where I live. So when you talk about crime in the city of Paterson, I live in the fire. But yet and still, you don't have to be a part of it. You can fight against it by standing up and talking about it. If you sit at home and complain about it, you're not gonna get nothing done. You know, so as y'all see, I'm one of the few, just like y'all individuals are too. So if y'all need my help in any kind of way, I'm not even gonna take up a full 3 minutes. Come see the White Wolf, all right? Love y'all.
Thank you, brother. Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
Next speaker, Marcial Huertas.
Council President, Council members, my name is Marcial Huertas. I am the President of the Board of Trustees of the New Jersey Peruvians, Inc. I am with Dr. Tello.
Speak close to the mic.
Dr. Tello is the President of the New Jersey Peruvians, Inc. First of all, we want to thank you for approving our project. And we also want to invite you to share with us the festivities. Mr. Velez, let me tell you something. You should be proud of all departments of the city of Paterson. They are involved in approving the permits. They were very helpful, professional, and very strict in demanding that everything was fulfilled in the way it's supposed to be done. They will not issue anything unless everything was complied with. So you should be assured that they are doing their job in a very good job. Okay? Now, Dr. Pérez.
In the name of the organization New Jersey Peruvians, I want to greet to the Council of City of Paterson and also tell that we love democracy. We follow all the rules, we fill all the application in the right time, and we want to say thank you in the name of the Peruvian community. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
Next speaker is Ms. Ilia Villanueva.
It's always an honor to be in front of you. My name is Commissioner Ilia Villanueva for the Paterson Task Force. And I say this first because I want to thank you for your vote of confidence when you vote for me to put me in the Paterson Task Force Board. I really appreciate that. But I'm not only here for that. I'm here as Ilia Villanueva, a community activist. I think that a lot of people knows me that I've been very active in the community, but I'm here as the co-chair and field service person for the Luis Velez effort. I want to thank everybody in the 5th Ward that came out to vote and put out their voice on who of the candidates were there they wanted to select to be their representative. To the community at large that helped us to bring that. It was not only an effort from us, but it was a citywide effort, believe me, that have paid off. To every candidate, council, my friends, which I consider you a friend, that are here, that came back, I really congratulate you. But also I have somebody that is very special to me. To the city clerk, her staff, that worked so tirelessly yesterday to get these efforts together. I think that at this time, the city and the voters spoken. If they vote for you to be here, it's because they trust you and they want you back. So we could complain anything we want, but the voters already went out and choose who they want to be their representatives. Okay? And we have to respect the voters' opinion and right to be. I'm here, I will have my effort, I will always work for each one of you on your independent campaigns, but today I'm here because I want to thank everybody that helped us to bring Councilman Luis Velez back, not only on the 5th Ward, but a citywide effort. Thank you, congratulations, Madam Business Administrator, thank you so much for your work, and thank you so much, blessed to the city of Paterson, and have a good night. I love you guys.
Council President, I know we don't do this, but I do want to also say to Ilia Villanueva, you know, truly our condolences for the loss of your child. No, I wanted to address her now, I'm leaving.
Yeah, Council President.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
your
Commissioner.
condolences. Thank
Next
you.
speaker, Madam Clerk.
Keith Watson.
Congratulations. Keith Watson, Paterson. Council members, congratulations to all of you guys who went out, fought fierce. I mean, it was a battle, but guess what? You came on top. I'm looking at the same faces, and it had to be a reason why the people put you back here. And the Faulkner Act is not a form of government that is easily managed, but you guys make it look easy. You guys are working with the administration, and every time I hear the mayor said that there was 1,200 boarded up houses, and now it's 200, it makes me feel good to live in that city, to see that actually there's home going back on the market. Okay? Now, Alex Mendez is the 3rd Ward councilman, and as the lady said, I think right now all of the complaints should be stopped. All of the argument about what happened in 2020 should be over. The people spoke, and I have to give credit to Madam Clerk also, who was in the City Hall, and the crowd was up on top of her, and she did as much as she can do, and I have to give you the credit. But there's one thing I really want to address in what happened in the election. We can't have city cops like Matthew McCoy running around from polls to poll, confronting campaign workers and talking loud about, oh, why is people going around supporting and voting for criminal? That's not something you do at the poll. You're a city officer, and you're accountable to these council persons. So I'm saying to my council, please, keep the officers accountable, and he should be home worrying about is negligent to letting the prisoner escape. I mean, negligent is simple, just being careless. Simple mean you're not taking proper care of something you was entrusted to do. And what I'm saying here to the administration and the council, please keep these city cops, whoever it is, under control, and you can't have a city cop just out there just going after a council person, knowing that a council person actually sits in a position that sits on the committee where, you know, to take care of your paycheck. And I have to give credit to my dear Dr. Mims, a councilwoman, to step up to the plate, even when the odds against her, and put her face beside Alex Mendez's face to say, I endorse him. I mean, that shows me that her word was loyal. When I spoke to her and you know, and I asked her, you know, if she could, I mean, she said there's no problem, she could, and she stood by her word. You know, and for somebody to do that, just a few minutes. And I congratulate you also to stand by Alex Mendez, not because of the person, but the work that has been done in the ward, and you told me that, and a lot of voters let me know that they're actually voting for Alex because they see the progress, they see the work that is being done. So let's stop the complaining and just let's move the third ward forward. Alex Mendez, congratulations again, sir.
Thank you. Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
Next speaker is Mr. Abed Tabata.
Good evening. Abed Tabata, 178 Michigan Ave. And I'd like to begin by congratulating all the incumbents on winning their seat again. It was a great campaign. Listen, my first time. Great experience, great experience. But today, the city business continues. So we could sit here and congratulate you guys and pass on the time, but we need answers. We still need answers. First is for Council President. Public portion, I feel, should be in the beginning of the meeting because there's items that the residents want to speak about, but after you already voted on it, now it's pointless about speaking about it. For example, what was that, Pat, for the roofing company, for the communication building, for the fire department, Pat Wood Roofing, is there going to be a project engineer on that project? Are we gonna, are they going to supervise the work? What kind of material they're using? Where's stuff like that? Same thing whenever it comes to road repaving. We have to understand what kind of asphalt are they using. Second thing would be the progress for the Office of Emergency Management. As I discussed in the forum, there was $13 million allocated, $7 million for the kitchen incubator project, and $6 million for the Office of Emergency Management. That is from taxpayer money. Where is that money? And people like speaking about, we get grants, so it doesn't cost the taxpayers nothing. People don't understand, grants come from the federal government. The federal government collects your taxes. It's not coming from the sky, the money. So either way you look at it, the taxpayers are paying for this. So grants are great, yeah, but it's coming out of, whenever you get the money that's coming out of your paycheck, that's the grant funding. We could also speak about where's the funds coming for speed bumps. We're paving roads. Illinois Ave is supposed to get paved. Michigan Ave is supposed to get paved this spring, summer. We have schools, School 25. It falls right in between both roads. We have a big issue with speeding. I spoke with a constituent out there, a resident, a neighbor, She lost 3 pets because cars keep flying down the roads. We need speed bumps. If there's no funding for it, then what's the point of drafting resolution? Also, one more thing. The credit rating was upgraded from BA1 to BAA3. Listen, it's like going from a 500 FICO score to a 550. Well, we went up 1 step over 9 years. That's nothing to be proud of. Why didn't we go up to the A category for our cities moving forward, and we have such a high credit rating? It's not an 800 credit score, people, so don't get fooled. Thank you.
Let's speak, Madam Clerk.
Councilman William Bill McCoy.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, the folks in the audience, to council members. Let me first say a congratulations to all of our legitimate winners of the ward elections, knowing that the numbers are still being tallied. And tonight I just wanted to stop by to say that I'm indeed a long-term resident of the 3rd Ward, represented that ward for a long time, in office and out of office. And that public service doesn't require a title. I've been doing that the last 4 years and will continue to do so. I want to give a special thanks to those that worked on my campaign, that did a great job, and to the 860 residents, voters, that cast a vote of confidence for honesty, integrity, and trust. We support voter participation, and we believe the voters are always right in their judgment. And so we encourage them to go out and cast their ballot as they ought to. Let me say also a great principle is that the right to vote is a sacred one that everybody is entrusted and should be protected, and that every single person has an absolute right to endorse whomever they choose to endorse, and nobody should question that. Nobody should feel compelled to defend that. But on the other hand, there's an ethical question, and the question of the day with regards to the Assemblyman Wimberly, whose face and likeness was placed on a flyer that went into folks' home, saying that he had endorsed the council president. Nobody should hijack somebody's likeness or name. And the question of the day, whether we choose to answer it or not, the question of the day is, did Assemblyman Wimberly endorse your campaign and give you the right to display his likeness, to possibly influence others to vote for you on an unethical basis? And so we will ask that that question be answered, whether now or in the future, because we can't build a house on sand. We can't build a community on lies and deceit. And if we want to lead, we have to lead with honesty and integrity. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the opportunity to speak. You have a great night, and look forward to seeing you as we move through the city of Paterson. I'm not going anywhere. I'm a resident. I'm going to be active. You're going to hear my voice. We're going to dissect some of the things that went on and have that conversation, real talk with the real McCoy. God bless you and good night.
Let's speak, Madam Clerk.
Next speaker is Delshanda Feld.
Good evening to everybody in their respective places. Some of you I know personally from the community and speaking with you in passing, helping me with my children. Some of you I know, some of your family members, but regardless of what, the election happened and congratulations.
Good evening.
I want to start out by saying people opt for passive aggression because they want to fake their polished images. A quote from Unknown. Then I'm going to follow that up with a quote, 2 of them actually, from Albert Einstein. The most important human endeavor is the striving for morality in our actions. Our inner balance and even our existence depend on it. Only morality in our actions can give beauty and dignity to life. And I'll close out with a last quote. The foundation of morality should not be made dependent on myth, nor tied to any authority, lest doubt about the myth or about the legitimacy of the authority imperil the foundation of sound judgment and action. Albert Einstein. I want to bring a couple key points, and then I want to say something. First, I think, and I spoke to you about this, Alex, I think that we should be honoring our veterans more. I go to other cities and I see banners put up. I am also a veteran, OEF, OIF, and I served this country. I've lived in Paterson since 2010, and me and other veterans who have served and been across seas and come home in the medic chair and other chairs deserve to be seen and heard. I want to know, why is Florio being allowed to capitalize Paterson under 3 names that I know of: JCM Property Management, Florio Management, as well as Anaya Management? I want to know, why is passive-aggressive racism being allowed here? It is the demise of the city. We need education across the board. Calling the cops on law-abiding citizens is wrong, especially when everything is fine and people were on your side until they figured out who you really were. And the last thing, Black and Latino businesses are being forced closed at an alarming rate. We should be helping each other to make a difference as opposed to coming to a head, per se, for monetary gain or for favors. The final thing I want to touch on is the other day, and I'm going to close my phone on that note. I volunteered, okay? And I've been volunteering my service now for about a year. I'm in college. I've taken 18 credits and passed the semester. My end game is to become a lawyer. And so I've been giving my time back in different ways throughout this community. I've been quiet. I've sat back. I've watched the injustices and the unethical practices of certain individuals take place, and I can no longer be quiet. There's no reason why I am at a voting poll, sitting down, supporting not just the person that my friend was supporting, but everybody across the board in my military mindset to make sure nothing crazy goes down. Because if you don't know, military, we went to wars to fight. I know I'm long-winded, so I'm gonna make it short. Other people were shorter, so I'm hoping I can get graced with a couple more seconds. I witnessed, and I have video proof, that there was misconduct on Mr. Luis Velez's portion. I don't know if he agreed with it. I don't know if he knew, but he was there and present. And I was also threatened walking from my daughter's school back to the site where he had someone inside that was volunteering with his campaign, and physically walking someone inside the booth. I witnessed it with my own eyes, and my friend had video. The only reason why I was involved in the situation is there's no reason why a man should stand up to a woman in any capacity. I'm not gonna allow it. I don't care who you are and what the situation is. She had the cops called on her. There was a harassment charge that was trying to be filed. But the long story short is this, is that if we're going to be voters and you're gonna be officials, do it with the morality and ethics that are needed. Don't do it for publicity, to shake hands and kiss babies. Do it for the right reasons, to actually make a change. Hear your citizens and do it ethically, with morals and integrity, as you took your oath.
Next speaker, Madam Clerk.
Yes.
There are no more speakers.
Motion to close.
Move to close.
Move to close by Councilman Velez.
Second.
Second by Councilwoman Mims. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Roll call to close the public portion of the Municipal Council regular meeting of Thursday, May 16, 2024. Councilwoman Cotton.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I just want to make a few comments with some of the speakers has spoke about. We all won our election. It's about working together. I want to say that Eva has spoke that. You know, we talk about crime, we talk about things that are going on in the community. Sometimes I don't understand how we can get a grip on certain things. I was in the emergency room last night, and it was so, I think that our people, our parents are not watching their children. So I happened to be in an emergency room last night, and a young girl, who got jumped by 7 girls, sent her to the hospital with her ankle. And I hear people say, what do we do? Like, how do we stop that? You know, and I think that probably having to put, say to the parents, I always say to people, and where I live, if you see my child doing something they shouldn't be doing, I need you to tell me. I don't need you to, I'm not gonna condone my child doing something wrong, and I always say I love nosy neighbors, because I ain't doing nothing wrong at my house that I'm doing. But something is happening with our young people, especially in our and I feel how parents are feeling now. They are so afraid for their children. They're so afraid of them going to school. They're just so afraid, because they're not sure what's gonna happen. I don't believe her ankle was broke, but I know she was in there. And I just want to say too that there's, you know, there's things that we need to do, and I hear about the candidate that ran against Al, you know, and I understand what project management means. I understand I don't know what blacktop looked like. I know what it looked like, but I don't know what's good, and I know that we don't use the same as the state of New Jersey. I know we don't use the same as the county of Passaic. But and we need to kind of understand that, and I know every project we should have a project manager. Someone there watching it, making sure that they do what they need to do. But sometimes I find that it's not always happening. And there's so much that that I think that of helping each other in the community. With the young lady, you know, it was my election. I got called on 3 times, and my people did not do anything. They didn't do anything. You know, you have to follow, I said, follow the rules. We put it for challengers. But you know, what time you go into some of these, you go inside some of these polling sites, and you got people in there that shouldn't be in there. If you don't have a challenger, you should not be in there. If you're not voting, they allow candidates to come in. But you just can't walk around if you don't have a badge. If you don't have the challenger badge, you don't have certain things. So, and you find that certain things happen and it shouldn't be happening. But, you know, there's, you know, I look at different items and different things that we do here in the city here, of trying to get, even like now we have the rent control board. And the rent control board is back, and I think it's going to be a big help to some of these people who, against landlords, against tenants. I think they're going to have more power than they think they're going to have, because, you know, if a landlord comes and they have hardship, okay, then they can go before the board. But what I find too is that people shouldn't get angry with people when they don't, like, support certain people. Okay, I've been in this city a long time. I remember our first black candidate running for mayor in this city was John Bell. That was back in 1975. John Bell. 1975. My husband and I worked on the campaign, you know, so we have to, like, do more to, but what makes me think about is our children now, is that how do we get them to be more involved, how we get them to be understanding with each other. And I say to parents all the time that you have to, I always say, parents, your child is first no matter what. You got to make sure they stay on the right track. You do your best to make sure they stay on the right track. So I just wanted to, you know, share, some of that. And I look at, and you're right, project managers should be on every site. If we got 10 projects, we should have 10 project managers. Or we should have, it should be that way. Because then that's how you know when everything is going to be done the right way. I have some more to say, but what I'll do is I'll wait until I close out. I want to say congratulations to everyone who on their re-election. But I have more to say, and I'll wait till we get to the closing remarks. Thank you. Madam Clerk, my vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilwoman Cotton. Councilman Jackson?
Thank you, Madam Clerk. First, let me start by saying it's shameful that you had to experience that. It's just amazing, the sequences of events that we have witnessed over the last, say, 50 years through my lifetime. You know, there was a time when they would tell people that you couldn't vote at this site. The next site you had to vote at was 6 miles away. They walked 6 miles. No, you couldn't vote at this site. The freedoms that many have sacrificed for has been is being abused. What I witnessed at those early voting poll sites was disgusting. It was really bad, man. For me to get calls from residents and saying that they are fearful to go to a poll because of the hostility, and then to hear you say that a woman is being physically threatened or harassed by a man of any stature for that nature, it just goes to show you that they'll go to any length. While we have a lot of other people in the community that would just say, you know what, I'm not voting. I don't care. It don't mean, you know, I don't do that. It's crazy because people who are newly minted to the process or the right to take it so serious that they're willing to, you know, fight, cause chaos, and then those who have their families members have laid down these sacrifices have chosen to not to be involved. But on the other note, with you being a representative of our armed forces, a military veteran that has made sacrifices for us, I commend you for that and take my hat off to you. I did write a piece of legislation that was to outline certain segments of the community with exactly what you talked about, flags which bear the names and likenesses of those military veterans. For whatever reason, couldn't get this council to support it. Maybe I'll pass it over to you and let you write it, because those are the members of the public, I don't know if you're aware, but you guys have the privilege and right to present legislation to the council as well. But yes, I have a son in active duty right now. He's overseas in the Navy. And there's been many sacrifices for people then to also have that right to act in discourse, but the enforcement is so selective that if a certain population was to do that, it will be handled with a different measure. And that's where we have to find, you know, some kind of resolution, because it's not equitable. And it's not equitable, unfortunately, to those who have made the most sacrifices, just being completely honest. But definitely will share my contact information with you for any future necessity. Brother Abed, I take my hat off to you, man. You ran a very respectful and quality race. And yes, you're totally correct. There's a lack of oversight of many items. The incubator is one of many, but it's a big one because, you know, I've been screaming about this bloody murder for quite some time, for taxpayers' dollars that have been squandered for an assumption of over $30 to $40 million. And, you know, even now when we look at the aid that was given to the city for COVID, I'm waiting to get an itemized list of what all this money was spent on, because it's been a great deal of money, well over $100 million. And so there is a necessity for more oversight on spending. and responsible spending, if you will. If you just witnessed this other item before us, how people who are not from here could come forward and say, you know, make an assertion that their property is worth a fraction of what it's worth and what they're actually collecting. So we have to be more responsible from that aspect. Lastly, I'd like to congratulate everyone as well. I mean, regardless of my personal feelings, people have put themselves in the line. They've won their prospective elections however they've won it. And, you know, I don't do some of the things that some people have talked about. In fact, I don't pay people or solicit people to stand outside in front of polling sites and intimidate or harass and or encourage, however it wants to be described. And yes, there was a great deal of money that was spent against me, as it always is and continues to be. But, you know, I stand firm on what I'm committed to do, and I don't waver. I believe what I do is respectable, and it can be respected on all levels. And I appreciate all of those who came out to support me for my reelection. And yeah, we celebrate, but you know, the job is not done. Our city is definitely not moving forward, as in the words of one of the previous speakers. When you look at the community and look at how we've been overrun with garbage and crime, just to mention a few, Madam BA, if anybody wants to take note, 57 Arch Street, I'm sorry, 57 is not the correct number, but the matter has been reported on multiple occasions. We had a landlord just basically come and take over his tenant's apartment. She had an ongoing lease. He recently purchased the property. She had a lease for 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a garage. He came and commandeered her space, told her, mind her business, it's his property, he can do whatever he wants to. He had a new electric meter added to the property without a cutting card, without permits. I don't know how he got that one off, but added a new electric meter, took over her space. If you want to see the results of it, I posted it on my page. She had a beautiful staircase going to her basement where her laundry room was. Took the laundry room from her, never renegotiated her lease, just went in there, started doing construction illegally, locked the door. The house has been posted with both yellow cards and red cards. He took them down. He continues to do work there because he understands that the rule here is anything goes in the city of Paterson. So while her daughter was then forced to go to the laundry over the weekend because her laundry room was commandeered, she's drove past an active shooting on Clinton and North First. Excited that she wasn't a victim to the shooting, her car wasn't struck, but she continued to move on quickly, went around the corner, only to be struck by a police vehicle going down the wrong way on Garfield Avenue, which the video shows that her car was almost, it was a parked car that stopped her car from being, from flipping over. So the cause and effect, something that we learned very early, cause and effect. The young lady's laundry room was illegally commandeered, forcing her to the laundry room. On her travels back from the laundry, from the laundry mat, her car was struck by a police vehicle going down the wrong way, on a one-way. I mean, if we're talking about, you know, things that are just constantly being derelict and overlooked, I mean, that's just an example. Lastly, I'll say this. Corporation Counsel, I've sent multiple requests. I've sent emails. I've made it plainly clear in the public forum. The property at on the corner of North Main and Heldon Avenue, formerly owned by Grace Chapel, which was owned by them for well over 50 years. This council voted that this property would remain as non-taxable. It was then converted to a taxable parcel, and they were never properly noticed. In fact, this property was just listed on a list by the DCA as
suspect properties because of the amount that it was sold for. Is sold in a tax sale for $24,000, of which the church could have definitely have paid if they were properly noticed. The developer then, or whoever purchased it then, turned around a day later, sold it for $200,000. I'm asking for your attention on this matter once again. This property should have never been sold. This council voted for that property. We purged the taxes in the past, voted for it to continue on as a nonprofit parcel, and it was stolen. This matter needs to be addressed as quickly as possible. Please, I'm asking yet again for your attention. I know that the church has reached out to you, and the mayor's office. I don't understand how this African American church has been in this community for over 100 years. They have been stewards of this community, and for them to be treated in this fashion is very disappointing. So please, if you let me know what exactly you need from me. I've spoken to the previous corporation council, who can affirm that this council's vote that we took during that time was a legal vote, and it was voted to be non-taxable. So if we can, I can get an answer or some assistance what's going to happen here before the city is brought up on has further legal action taken against it, I would appreciate it. Yeah, of course I do. You don't recall voting on that? You don't recall voting on it?
Yes.
Okay.
Point of order. Council members, we'll roll call.
Madam Clerk, my vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilman Jackson. Councilman Kalik?
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I guess we're making our closing remarks. I want to thank the residents of the second ward. When everything get done, will be over 4,000 constituents, the voter, participated in this last municipal election. We take pride in participating in the election in the second ward. At the same time, I was disgusted by some of the comments and the live videos you were shared on social media on early voting day by McBride polling site. People have right to be out there beyond 100 feet of the polling site to support whoever candidate they want to support. Some of the candidates call these people animals on live video on social media. It is very disturbing. They are one of the most racist people, I think, out there. Second ward community take pride in voting. As you can see, look at the voter turnout. And people have spoken. I want to thank everyone from the second ward who has participated in the last election. I am looking forward to working with everyone. I'm a solution person guy. I'm not gonna complain about everything out there. We do have a lot of work to do in city of Paterson, but I think the city is moving in the right direction. Come up with the solution. Stop complaining. If you look at the stats of the crime rate from last year, I think it's going down. We might not agree. We do have a situation with the garbage and bulk pickup. I think we need to work and make a better plan with the administration and DPW. That's the only complaint that throughout my campaign, that's the only complaint that I heard from the resident of the second ward about cleaner street. I think the administration with the council, colleagues, and the DPW department, we need to sit down and make a better plan so our city could be cleaner. Also, I think it's getting better to be a safer city. I could probably say Second Ward is one of the safest ward in city of Paterson. Statewide, I think Sixth Ward got me by 0.001% or something like that. Like that, but people out there feel safe. When you go to Union Ave, when you go to Torwa Ave, you see in the afternoon group of people walking there. I mean, they're doing their afternoon works. In near future, they will have a total renovation of West Side Park. It will be beautiful. I'm looking forward to working with the community and moving the Second Ward forward. I think every ward is, I'm looking to work with everyone for every ward. I know, even though I represent Second Ward, I'm going to talk about my ward. But at the same time, any council member, you have any project in your ward, I have been supporting of everything that comes in the council, and I'm looking forward to working with each and every one of you. Thank you, and my vote is yes to close the public hearing, and also I made the comment for my closing remarks as well, so I'm done. Good night, everyone.
Thank you, Councilman Kalik. Dr. Mims?
So first and foremost, I want to say Happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers, guardians, aunties, sisters, so many people, and also those that are living and those that are deceased. I know sometimes it's hard during Mother's Day when people have lost their loved ones. So one of the things I truly believe is that you give people their flowers while they can smell them. And I'm going to continue to say that because life is so short that we have to do that. There were 11 speakers on tonight, I believe was the number of speakers that we have, and I'll do a brief overview for all of them. But before I do that, I want to commend those council members that are already leading the charge in the election. But also I want to put to the public, I call it the 7-day miracle. There's always this window, time window, when there are some other votes that they can still come in because they're postmarked by election day. So we really have until Tuesday of next week and then the certification. But when you're doing your elections as someone who is a 10-year veteran, and I've been elected 3 times, I always tell, and I can tell those that know strategy that are way in the lead, that you got to bake a huge lead so that you can celebrate early. Because you can celebrate when you have a huge lead. And we talk about that all the time, and most people that know strategy and really know how to operate campaigns, they're fully aware that that is the process and or the strategy when you're doing that. So there is a window of time, and the election is not certified. The final votes or some of the provisionals and some of the VBM numbers are still coming in. And possibly by Tuesday, there will be a count. They will call council members, or they can designate someone to come to 401 Grand Street, where there are 4 people that will count. 2 are Democratic, 2 are Republican. This has always been the process. And then they will count right in front of you. And then if there's any errors, they will go through those as well. And then that's why the process takes a little longer, because if there's errors, they have to give it and process it and reach out to those people to get some clarification. And then once all of that is done, they certify the election, and then we can move forward. But I know that a lot of our council members are way in the lead, so that's why they're celebrating already, because that is the strategy, so that you can do that. But I want to say to not only the people that ran their campaign, whether they're winning or those that don't have the same numbers, I want to commend you for running your race and wanting to advocate on behalf of the great city of Paterson that I've been born and raised in. And at this juncture of my life, I don't think I'm going anywhere until God takes me home to heaven. To all of the speakers, Eva coming forward and talking about her concerns, I'm glad that she was able to talk to DPW. Mr. Olivares, who talked about the crime and the filth, and all of those things are definitely occurring in our community, but it takes all hands on deck. It's not just the legislative body that has to deal with the filth. It's not just the legislative body that has to deal with the crime or the other concerns. You gotta have the people, one, with filth, there has to be pride. People, I've seen them go in the pizza store, get their slice of pizza, throw the bag right outside on the garbage. There are garbage receptacles right on the corner, they've thrown them. I've seen people throw big bags of McDonald's out of their car windows. That is not the legislative body's role to follow cars around and pick up bags of McDonald's. People have to take pride and understand cleanliness. There are certain areas in the community that you'll see people sweeping and picking up their trash and making sure that they put their garbage cans back, putting their trash out at the right time and cleaning up. And then there's other areas that don't do it. So I think it takes a concerted effort on all parts, and that's why we close our fists as we work together, because when we point our fingers, we miss, or we can misconstrue or misidentify where the problem lies. It's about providing solutions. Mr. Wolf, you know I will definitely work with you. Congratulations to the Peruvian Association on the approval of the festivals. To Mr. Abed, since I came to this council, I am PMP certified, project management professional certified through the George Washington University. When I came here in 2018, I've been advocating for project managers from day one. It's recorded, you can go back on the tapes. They've been putting in place, and I can't think what the title is, Madam BA. We have some that are in place. We need more, but I've advocated since 2018. The administration heard the cry because I was literally begging, and we do have them in place. So do we need more? Absolutely, but we do have an engineering department. When we came on this council, we were paying an enormous amount of money. This council decided that we wanted to do it in-house. That is currently happening. So we have a lot of stuff that's being done. And I always say I have an open door policy. Reach out to me, we can sit down, we can pull the record, we'll talk about some of the things that have been done. There's a lot of stuff that we still need to do, and I totally agree with you. And I already spoke to you, so whatever you need, have questions, please feel free to come and talk to me. To Ms. Villanueva, my heartfelt condolences go out to you in the loss of your son. Mr. Watson, thank you for coming and speaking and talking about us moving forward and working together in positivity. In my decision of supporting my colleagues, because I supported my colleagues, I didn't just support one. My thing was, one, we've been working to move this city forward. It's not always easy. There's challenges. Sometimes, you have to learn how to get along with your colleagues, because it takes 5 votes and sometimes 6. So when it came to this election, I made some very clear decisions, very clear and concise. I went to my colleagues and I said, I'm supporting you, I'm supporting you, I'm supporting you, and I told them, and I went publicly. So there was a flyer that was out, and I want to put it to the public so no one gives misinformation pertaining to Dr. Mims. There was a flyer out. Me and Councilman Mendez spoke about it, but I publicly endorsed him. I live in the 3rd Ward. I've lived in the 3rd Ward for 25 years. We've gotten a lot of stuff done together, Councilman Mendez and myself. My block actually had an event for Councilman Mendez, which they've been trying to do in times past. And I thank you, Councilman Mendez. I could not be there because I had a previously scheduled meeting for my sorority, which I spoke to you about, but my block was very happy, and people, even on Saturday, I was preparing for Mother's Day, people were coming down my block and asking or saying, we stand in support. We reached out to Councilman Mendez, and he has responded. So it wasn't just Councilwoman Mims who supported you, 1,000+ people supported you. So that's how you got that seat back, as well as Councilman Khalid. I just believe, and I say it, and I would be a hypocrite if I say one thing and do something else. I believe we're better together. And if we say we're better together and we want peace and unity, we got to learn how to work with everybody, because you can't do it by yourself. I know it would be wonderful if you lived in a glass bubble and all that, but we just don't live in that. And to get the work done on this side, you have to work with your colleagues, and you got to work with the administration. You may not like everything the mayor does or what he says or whatever, but to get stuff done, you have to advocate for the community, your residents, come to your colleagues for support, and go to the administration to make it happen. If you bypass or falter in that process, you're going to be sitting, yelling and screaming every meeting. That's why some people, we sit and we choose to stay in a calm manner because we know how to make things happen and we know how to work together, and that's what we should be doing. To the woman, you know I love you, so I'm going to say that first. You know I love you wholeheartedly. Yes, I'm going to come talk to you in regards to some of the things that were stated. One, you mentioned an entity with 3 different names. They're not the same. They're totally different. They're totally different. They are not connected. They have their own separate boards. There's separate people that are part of them, so they're not connected. So I just wanted to put that on the record. They're totally 3 different entities. They're not, and I have to say, and I don't want people to say, well, she's fighting for Florio, but I got to be honest. Those are 3 different entities. It's not Florio. That's not true. They're totally separate boards, separate people, everything, so they're not the same. The other thing is, on Tuesday, well, it was on the agenda tonight, but we got to make sure the paperwork is here. I have advocated for Main Street between Market Street and Broadway. It will be renamed Veterans Way. We are voting on it on Tuesday night in our 6:30 meeting, so if you want to come back, celebrate, and then we're going to have a big celebration, and we're going to invite all the veterans and have them come through, because I believe that, like my uncle, he served, and others have served, and we can never forget them, and there's great people like the Vencheris and so many people like yourself and others that we know and don't know about that have served in all these areas as far as veterans are concerned. And we want them to understand that Paterson is grateful and Paterson is forever appreciative of your service. So I want to say I commend you and to all the others, but please come back next week. It will be on the agenda on a special meeting and we will be voting on it. But I did advocate for that item, and we will be in full support. And I want to say to Madam Clerk and your office, I want to say thank you, because a lot of times people don't understand when it comes to elections, you're here all night. You're here from sunup to sundown, and people don't understand the sacrifice that you and the time you take away from your own family. I actually work in a building where there was a polling site, and I laughed because someone thought that I was in there trying to work the election, but I was actually at work, right? I was at work. But what I did, because that particular day I provided lunch for the entire staff in our building, and we had surplus. So I went in, I counted all the workers in there, and I provided lunch to all the poll workers that worked in that particular building at our particular school. So I just want to say thank you, and I wish I could have just left up my building and brought y'all lunch too, but maybe I'll just have to do that for you. But I just appreciate all that you do. Madam BA, Corporation Counsel, Irma Linda, Raphael, Ryan, to our police officers that come out, IT, you sit here and you stay here with us every night to make sure that the business of the city goes forward. I'm excited because on tonight, we will be home by at least 10:15 tonight. In closing, we, the women of this council, we supported and sponsored, it was sponsored, I think, by Councilwoman Davila, and the women were in support when we made Elizabeth Estella the poet laureate of the great city of Paterson. I was really close to her, and we want to pray for her husband and her daughter, her husband Damon, and her daughter Stella, in her passing on today. Very sad. She's been going through a lot. It's been a hard process, but she fought really, really hard. And I loved her poetic moments, even on social media, when it got to a place when she knew that it was coming too near to close. She put it out to the public so that they can send her words and she could read them. And then she had a grasp of air, and she came back and said, I want to fight. And we said, well, we're going to fight with you as long as you go through this process. But on my way here, I got the news, and the family, when I sat down, they texted me and gave me the privilege, because of our close relationship, to put it out to the public. So please keep, if you know Underdog, the restaurant in Heldon, Underdog Bar and Grill, her husband was the owner of that place, so go by her house on Park Ave or go by Underdog, lay some flowers out for her. As you know, she loved flowers, but we will miss this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful woman who served our community, who was a breath of fresh air. But I know in the heavenlies, she's soaring and flying and smiling around, looking down and saying, Paterson one day is going to be the bright light that I've always envisioned it to be. Madam Clerk, my vote is yes.
Thank you, Dr. Mims. Councilman Velez.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. So let me start saying mission accomplished. I want to thank all the residents of the Fifth Ward who came out and to vote for me for my reelection. I thank all the volunteers, more than 40, for all the job that they have done well done. To my team, Team Velez, and my campaign executive team, Nairobi Vargas, Junior Furman, Ilia Villanueva, Richard Beswick, and my lovely wife, Natasha Batista. To all the clergies, Radio Visión Cristiana, and those who endorse me, such as CWA Local 1032, and Assemblywoman Shavonda Sumter. Thank you. Let's continue moving the city forward. We cannot do this by ourselves, and we cannot continue doing it by ourselves. And to the audience that have been here today, one thing that I had the opportunity to do that same night of the election, an hour before the poll closed, candidate Sebastian Mejia and candidate J.C. Abreu, his father, was standing at the last poll, the poll in the New Roberto Clemente at 7 o'clock at night. And I had the chance to bring it to me and speak to them. And the first thing I say to them is that election will be over at 8 o'clock. Let's sit down and talk. Let's sit down and have a discussion. They are young people, they got good ideas, but you need to canalize those ideas that you was bringing forward while we're campaigning. I open the doors for all of them that want to come forward to work with me. My office is open, my phone is always available to make sure that we have a conversation and work together for the benefit of the world that you live in, making sure that we all be in the same boat and goals. So what I have to say is that my campaign was supervised, was managed, real professional, well identified, and they did a great job to make sure that the residents of the Fifth Ward received the right message. As you notice, every forum and every place I went to discuss the issues of the Fifth Ward, it was discussed the right way. The voters have come out and they have expressed themselves and put a stamp on the 8 years that I've been here in this council and say yes for my reelection. I want to say that I put God first in everything that I do. And I always say, if God had put me in this place without believing no one, He will keep me here. The only thing is, let's pray together and let's work together. Prayer, faith with action will not take us nowhere. So if you have faith and you have prayers and you want the city of Paterson to move forward, let's work together. Let's move the city forward. Last but not least, I heard some comments at the podium, and I know the young lady's still here. I never had interaction with her. Never spoke to her at the polls. So whatever happened at the polls, I know that there's a process to follow when things arise at the polls. And one of them is there's a poor worker, there's a poor master at the site, there's a clerk that receives complaints, there's a police department that receives complaints. My campaign was run properly. My campaign was run with dignity and respect for all. There was a comment about moving the city forward. And I want my colleagues that are here to understand this, because probably when I listen to people, I go a little bit further to analyze what they're saying. So they tell us that to be able to move the city forward, we need to address the crime, the trash, the drugs, and recreation for our children. The 8 years that I have in this council, we have addressed crime, approving through the budget, through grants, equipment, cars, and everything that we have to put for our police department address those issues. Trash, we have, oh, I'm sorry. Oh.
Just.
Last but not least, the trash, we have put all the resources to DPW, and Madam BA could attest that. And for our children's, we have invested millions and millions of dollars in recreation in our parks. That is moving the city forward. And that's why we are going to continue moving the city forward. Those that knows how municipal governments run, we 99.9% is city business, and that's how we move it forward. The other percent is tree naming and other things that honor the city of Paterson. So that's why I'm not going to call myself true and real leadership. I'm going to call us the true and real leadership team with the people councilman, Leo Velez. Thank you. Madam Clerk, thank you for the work, your staff, the city clerk office. Madam BA, thank you for being diligent in the making sure that DPW will be present. Terrence, his name is Cobb, thank you. Thank you for being up and down.
Yes.
Up and down. Let me say,
Yes.
this man and DPW works hard in this election. Corporate Council, your office, Class A. Class A. Class A with action. I love that A. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, let's do what we have to do. Putting the law first. Let's not forget those IT employees. Let's not forget Mr. Gonzalez that works hard to make sure that all this is out there for the public, and to the public that comes, like Paterson Police and all those men and women from the fire department and all the city employees that work for us. Our goal is to continue working for the residents and for our city employees. God bless you, and I approve this message. My vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilman Velez. Mr. President?
Thank you, Madam Clerk. First of all, let me just take this moment to thank all the residents. Well, first of all, let me give thanks to God for this opportunity to serve this community for another term and for this great victory. Second of all, let me thanks to all the third ward residents for the great support that I received for the third time on this election, and also to all my council colleagues for the great support for reliving in my leadership. And as Councilman Mims stated before, I want to say thank you, Councilman Mims, and to all my council colleagues for their great support on this election. Despite all the negative campaign, all the hate, we prevailed. And I've been elected not once, not twice, but 3 times. This is the third time that I've been winning this seat. and I've been proving that I have the vote and the support of this community. I've been working since I became the councilman of the Third Ward. I've been connected with the people, bringing change into the community, being available and accessible to the people, improving the Third Ward, and that's what I'm looking forward to do. And the reason why my council colleagues, they're making a little fun of me, because I came with one of the pair of shoes that I win this election. I want you to look at it. This is how I win election. I want my friends to look at it. This is how I win election. This is how I win election. And this is the last time that I'm going to wear this pair of shoes. I knock on every door in the Third Ward. I don't take nothing for granted. Your support as a Third Ward resident is extremely important to me. The community elect me to serve, and I've been knocking on every single door of the Third Ward, asking for the support and listening to their concern. That's the type of councilman that you have on Alex Mendez. The time to be sleeping on this chair is over since I became the councilman of the Third Ward. And I've been going through a lot. I remember that I got elected in May, and they forced me to run again in November. And I was elected in November again. And now I was elected again now. I want to say thank you to all the residents of the Third Ward, and I'm committed to continue the work that I've been doing. I'm a phone call away. I'm going to continue having those town hall meetings, being in touch with every resident, representing you and giving you the service that you deserve from your councilman. So, Madam Clerk, I want to say thank you to you and the staff for the amazing job that you did on the election. A job well done.
Thank you.
This election wasn't easy. There was a lot of challenges without a city hall, but you find a way to get the job done with your staff. We want to say thank you. On this July 1st, on the reorganization meeting and the swearing ceremony of all the state council members, this is going to be a special event because we're going to have our 50th anniversary of the form of government that we have in the city of Paterson. We're looking forward to have a special event. Madam Clerk is going to be working with a committee to put a special event together for that occasion. So we're looking forward to have, we're inviting the community. Stay tuned because what's coming, it's beautiful for all the residents. We have to celebrate it, we have to come together. We definitely have to come together because that's the only way that we're gonna move our city forward. Since I became into this council, my goal has been to unite this council and work with all my council colleagues and work with the administration as well to fix the problem that we have in the city of Paterson. There's a lot more work to be done. Election is over. I'm looking forward to just continue the work. We have a lot of challenges like the ball pickup, the garbage in our community, the condition of our road, and we already having conversation with the administration to correct those problems. Let's continue moving the city forward. And yes, I will say that during the campaign, a lot of people spoke about the condition of the park at Eastside Park. I don't make promise. I work to make things happen. Today, we already voted on a new playground for Eastside Park to make sure that our children enjoy a state-of-the-art playground. That's what I do. I take action and I get the job done. That's what you're gonna have from Alex Mendez. I love to serve this community, and I'm always saying that God blessed me with this great opportunity, and I feel proud. I don't take this for granted. I work for you. I work for every resident that live in the city of Paterson, because the decision that I make here at the council impact not only the Third Ward, but the entire city of Paterson. I will continue advocating for all the residents of the Third Ward and also the entire city of Paterson. Let's continue the work, and may God continue blessing the city of Paterson, because one day, Paterson will be the best city in the state of New Jersey. We have the best location. We're close to every main highway. One day you will see name brand, all kind of name brand in the downtown area. You will see the city of Paterson clean and safe. And we're gonna work to make that happen. So may God continue blessing you all. And with that being said, my vote is yes, Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. President. The votes are 6 yeses, 3 absences.
Council President.
The portion
Move
of
to
the regular
close.
meeting of May 16th is hereby closed. Thank
Sure,
you.
council members, let's do the motion to close right before that. I have Corporation Council and Madam BA.
Very quickly, thank you, Council President. So just to follow up on the inquiry made by Councilman Jackson. So I spoke with the representatives of the church on several occasions. In addition to that, the law department put together a lengthy, detailed letter that we sent to their council regarding the history of this particular property. And it included information that was provided from the tax assessor's office that this property was not in tax exempt status. Additionally, there was a foreclosure on the tax certificates that were sold, but we've provided that information to their attorney. We've invited their attorney to reach out to the city and follow up if they have had any further questions. And I just wanted to make sure that as a matter of record, that the law department's efforts in taking this matter very seriously is documented. Thank you, Council President.
Thank you. Let's make sure that Councilman Jackson get that information as well.
And I did have that conversation with Councilman Jackson.
Okay, very good. He's been very concerned of that. So thank you, Madam BA.
And very briefly as well, thank you, Council President. I just want to note two items that came up as part of public portion. One was about speed humps, and just as a reminder, one component, a major component of that ordinance is that there does have to be a petition that's signed by residents, those who are directly affected, as well as those in kind of the neighborhood, before it then even proceeds to be reviewed, by the different public safety elements, in various steps. So we could support neighbors who are interested in pursuing that path, but that is a component of it. And a few of the other items, you're right, Councilwoman Mims, it was management specialist is the position that we're really using to do a lot of project management around the city. And as well as, when we hired our new engineer, project management was one of the focal points of his, first of all, his experience, but it was also part of the task that we laid before him, and he's been doing a really great job. He will be managing the dispatch center improvements along with our fire chief, and some of his team. And the same thing for the roads. We do have our assistant engineer who we hired full-time into the city, or he was working part-time, and then we increased his hours to full-time. He does all the project management, and he is on site for a lot of the road resurfacing projects. And one final point about the Moody's credit rating, just because this is a personal point of pride for our work here in the city. It is actually a pretty big deal. While it moved up, and we have a lot of work to do to go even higher, it actually went from non-investment grade rating to an investment grade rating, which is, there's only two categories, non or investment grade, and then there's ratings within it. So it's a really big deal that the city of Paterson is now in an investment grade status. And we're gonna continue working to increase it higher so that borrowing costs are lower for the city, and that eventually we would be able to borrow on our own. So thank you, Council President.
Thank you, Madam BA.
Motion to close.
I was motion moved to close by Councilman Glass,
Second.
second by Councilman Shahin Kalik and Councilwoman Mims. Roll call, Madam Clerk, to close this meeting.
Roll call to close the municipal council regular meeting of May 16th, 2024. Councilwoman Cotton.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. I just want to I just want to say to my residents of the Fourth Ward, I am beyond grateful for you re-electing me again to City Council, to the Fourth Ward Councilwoman. This has been a wonderful journey for me, and I say that we must work together. We must work together to make sure that we get things done that we need to get done. I have reached out. I have been reached out by my opponents, Kamisha Roger Jones and Justin Rucker, that we said that we would be working together. But I just want to say to the Fourth Ward, I appreciate everything that you have given me. You have put confidence back in me, and let's show that we can work together as a community, even with my opponents, that we can achieve and we can push forward for things that we need. We must try to build a brighter future for our children and for ourselves and for our residents. So Paterson, Fourth Ward resident, thank you for re-electing me back to my Fourth Ward City Council seat. I also want to say congratulations to, there's many good things that's happening in our city, especially with our children. But I want to say to parents, we have to make sure we keep our kids involved in as much as we can. I want to say congratulations. There was a mock trial at the courthouse, and the 3 high schools that placed first, second, and third, people always say there's nothing happening. There's a lot of good things happening. But I want to say congratulations to Passaic County Technical Institute. They came in first. Then P-Tech, which is down nearby 3rd Ward, and then Eastside High School came in third. And I think that we need to give our children a round of applause a mock trial, a plaintiff, a defendant, and the jurors and the judge. So there's many good things. I said, you know, do your best, parents out there, to involve your children in different activities. My good friend Jamie Bland has a program called Jump Start. So please, if you're not sure, just enroll them in some of the things that's going on. And I also want to say congratulations to the Flaming cheerleading squad that just came back from Florida, and they placed first here in the city. They placed first in Florida. To me, that's wonderful. We have to do everything. And Councilwoman, let's put something together so we can honor those young girls.
Yes.
You know, because they came in first, and I think the little girls came in second. I'm not quite sure, but we need to do something. And I also want to say, too, that, you know, Charles Florio, you know, people say things, but he's a very supportive man of our community. He has supported those children. He supports everyone. So we must say that he is a businessman that do support a lot of our activities here that sometimes we never hear about.
Mm-hmm.
We never hear about the things that be supported. But I also want to say thank you to my team, Cotton, and I want to say to my campaign manager, Kenny Simmons, my assistant campaign manager, Jamie Bland, you know, Wesley Simmons, Valerie Freeman, Mona Freeman, Ray Light Jr., Vincent Arrington, Dolores Bradley, Antoine Wilson, Mark Squire, Julie Gonzalez, and of course all my council colleague, Councilwoman Mims. Thank you. And you know what? I want to say I had a great phone banking team. They were calling. And I want to say to my niece, Charlotte Severson, thank you with the phone banking, Charlene White, Julie Gonzalez, Cheryl Holzman, Michelle Clark, Sharon Scott, Dolores Bradley, April Lampley, Yolanda Works. We were really doing it. So I want to say to you all out there, I appreciate everyone. And I always say that, you know, we can work on, we are going to be able to work on things that we got to get done. We all want, public safety is a major issue. Trash is a major issue. So we got to start working on things in our community. But I want to say to my council colleagues, congratulations. Councilman Mendez, Councilman Kalik, Councilman Luis Velez, and myself, and my rest of my Councilman Al Albaziz, and Councilman Jackson. You know, we're going to see. But I want to say congratulations. I always say, and you hear me say it all the time, you know, we may not vote the same, but we still, at the end of the night, should know how to say good night. And we should not know how to be. But there's so many good things that are happening for us here in the city. You can reach out to me. You can touch. I'm accessible. I'm dedicated. I love what I do. I'm a full-time councilwoman, and I thank you, Fourth Ward resident out there, for re-electing me back to my Fourth Ward City Council seat. And thank you to everyone out there. And you know, I think that this, you know, sometimes I may not know the answer, but I can do my best to find out for you where you need to go or who you need to see. So with that being said, to Madam BA, Corporation Counsel, Melinda, our stenographer, especially our Raphael, especially our Ryan, our technology guy, you guys work really hard. I don't know how much longer I can sit here with these chairs, but I had to get up. My legs were like, I don't know. But to my Madam Clerk, to my Deputy Clerk, I appreciate you. I appreciate everything that you do, because you do. I see how hard you work, and I see all the work that you have to done. To my technology guy over here. But with that being said, I'm looking forward to 4 more years. I'm going to bring as many people. You want to be part of it, be part of it. It's about working together. I see my guy Keith back there. You know, it's about working together. And everybody knows Councilwoman Cotton. You know I do not hold grudges. You know I don't get mad with nobody at all. So we're here to work together, move everything together, to move forward. We got to just make sure that we know everything what we need. Thank you. I know you get ready to bang on the thing.
No. I didn't go as long as you. I didn't forget.
Everyone out there at home, God bless you. Thank you all. Enjoy the holidays that get ready to come up, Memorial Weekend. And don't forget about Juneteenth, the parade and everything. With that being said, God bless you all out there at home. Madam Clerk, my vote is yes.
Thank you, Councilwoman Cotton.
All righty.
Councilman Kalik.
I just want to say thank you to the Second Ward residents and good night. I always hear from the great minds, election has consequences.
Yes.
I mean, that's stuck in my mind since the election started. I think it does probably has consequences. Let's see. My vote is yes. Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Councilman Kalik. Councilwoman Mims.
Wow, I don't know what that means, but that sounds very serious, Councilman Khalid. So here's another quote that I've heard, that numbers don't lie, people do.
That's right.
Let me tell you something. One thing I've learned, and I'm closing, I've learned you can knock on a lot of doors, and people will tell you, oh, I'm supporting you. You take them to lunch, you take them to dinner, you buy their bagels, and when you get that report back from the voter base, their name is not on there. You spent a lot of time, so you gotta put the work in, because I'm telling you, people will tell you I'm voting, they're on social media saying this and saying that, and I'm telling you, and I can't wait, I'm gonna pull it, I always pull it, but I'm gonna pull the information, and I'm gonna scroll slowly through the database, because I wanna see who voted and who didn't vote. And when I see them on social media complaining, I'm gonna be like, you did not vote. Because if you don't vote, you don't have a voice. You cannot complain. And I get it that you want to run, but I tell people all the time, you got to get to understand and know this form of government, understand our role versus the administrative role and the other fundamental roles of government, and let's keep building and not battling.
That's right.
God bless everybody. Have a wonderful week. Keep praying for our children, our seniors, and everyone. Madam Clerk, thank you. My vote is yes. Good night, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Mims. Councilman Velez.
All right, so I'm going to say it different. Councilman stated that election has consequence. So I'm going to say, in my side, in the Fifth Ward, my voter is going to have a positive consequence. They got a good councilman, got elected. No, so I know, I got you. So listen to this, Councilman. You know, 149,000 residents in the city of Paterson, approximately, only 11,000 approximately came out to vote. So those 11,000, I commend them, because they was the voice of 160+ thousand residents in the city of Paterson. So let's look at the positive ideas. Now, Madam Clerk, Madam BA, my colleagues, I just want to say the last thing for tonight, not forever, for tonight. I started to pick up my signs, okay? So I'm going to try to pick up all my signs before the 30 days that is due.
Yes.
The one that we going to get 30 days to pick up the sign. I know, but I need some help. I got a bunch of signs out there. So, in my case, signs don't vote, but really promote. So, I'm glad that my signs are getting picked up since last night. If you see signs in private properties, because some of them want to keep them there, that's a private property. Yeah, they do. I had a constituent say, hey, are we still in politics? I said, why? Because somebody stole your sign. I say, no, I'm picking him up. So, yeah, he wanted there. So if you see a sign in private property, please do not bother them. That's freedom of speech. I'm picking up and cleaning everything that is out there. I will not pick up my opening signs, because then they say that I knock them down, right? So go out there, you preach that you want a clean water, let's start cleaning it now, and my colleagues, I know they're on board on that. So, Madam BA, I know that they already paid, there's a PO for finishing the fence of Roberto Clemente. I believe Billy told me that PCNG is supposed to come in and move a wire, and that's why they haven't put the gates. But please follow up when they're gonna finish the back, putting the fence in the back of the Roberto Clemente Park. Saying that, ladies and gentlemen, God bless you all. Let's continue the work. I'm not gonna say like my colleague, but we'll move forward. Thank you, everyone. God bless you. Hug your family, pray for your family, stay together, and let's move this city forward. Madam Clerk, thank you.
My vote.
My vote is yes to close.
Thank you, Councilman Velez. Mr. President.
Thank you. Very brief. Special thanks to my beautiful wife, Johanny Mendez. She did a phenomenal job on my campaign. Keith Waxon, special thank you to you and to my Jamaican community in the Third Ward. I love you all. A special thank you. One love to my African American community. Thank you, all Maladesma, all of them. Thank you for the outstanding job. To all the community in the Third Ward, I love you all, and let's continue, the progress. And June 14, which is my birthday, that's going to be the celebration for the re-election of Councilman Alex Mendez from the Third Ward. So you all invited. And in closing, I want to say thank you once again to the resident of the Third Ward, because we're the highest ward with the most vote, the second highest. We got the second ward, which has got the bigger number, and the third ward. The third ward has more number than the sixth ward, so Councilman De La Cis, you got to check on that. So I want to say thank you to my third ward resident. We go out and we vote. God bless you all. Let's pray and let's love each other and let's work together. My vote is yes. Good night, Paterson.
Thank you, Mr. President. The votes are 5 yeses, 4 absences. The meeting of Thursday, May 16th is hereby adjourned. Good night.